Hello and welcome back to the Game Bet Match podcast. I'm your host Manny Friedman, along with my co-host.
Brad Sloan.
Back in the house, baby. 2 in 1 week. What is this?
Yeah, I know, too much. Well, it was good because we can focus now on the French Open because
Yes.
all the recap stuff out of the way. The only congratulations to Kabul getting a Hamburg title and Djokovic gets his 100th career title, which is, good for him.
Yeah.
Beat Hubie. He really was the better player throughout the match. Like I think he generated much more. He generated what, 6, 7 break points throughout the match versus Huey's like 2 to 3 break points generated.
True, but I also was happy with my read betting the dog over. Like I thought plus 240 was a bit long for Hubie there. Like I thought that there was certainly value, especially given the altitude, and I feel like Hubie's been playing better.
He
Uh,
has been. He has been.
and I mean, based on Hubie, like I felt like earlier this year he was trying to be like more aggressive and like it didn't work. Like I think that serve and push style for him works the best. And I think that's how he's going to get the most out of his career.
He, he's not good enough at being aggressive. Like that's the problem, right? Like it's. I don't actually think it's like a strategy issue for him. I think it's
Mhm.
like kind of realization is it's not really so much a strategy issue. It's just like what he has.
Yeah, I guess, but like I think he's better when he's like more kind of directing balls into you know, parts of the court rather than like trying to like really go after the ball. That's when he makes errors. Like his forehand breaks down
Well,
when he tries to
that's
be
what I
extra
mean.
aggressive.
Is like I think that like the optimal strategy for a player of his type would be to be more aggressive.
Right.
But like it's one of those things that and it's actually it's ironic because like this is the point that I make a lot, right? Like
Yeah.
on the ATP tour, like you've been playing a lot of tennis to some extent. A lot of the skills are you kind of have what you have. Like there's not. I mean, I don't know if there's really too many instances of guys that have remade their careers once they came on the tour, right? Like you might be able to add something and like like add a piece here or there, make some changes, but like if you came onto the tour as a counterpuncher, you're
Yeah.
probably not going to become a serve volley.
But also, like, if Alcaraz changes his serve motion or changes his return positioning, I feel like that's a more kind of change that you can make during the tour. Whereas like changing like how you play points and like whether you're an aggressive minded player or a counter puncher, like I think that that's something that you just can't do
Well,
unless
that's
you
what I
have
mean. And like
years,
even these
right?
guys that like
Yeah.
develop their serves over time, like you might be able to go from having like a decent serve to a good serve. Like these guys that tweak with their motions, right? Like has any like the biggest example of a guy that's gone from like a stroke that was maybe a bit of a weakness to making a stroke like a true strength is probably Djokovic with the serve. And even then, I don't think just the pure serve for Djokovic ever became like a top 5, top 10 shot. If it did, it would more be because of how well he used it to set up other shots. And that would be like an example. That would be even if you were to say that about Djokovic, it would be the example. It
Yeah.
would be the exception that proves the rule. Like it's very rare that we see a guy like I said, you kind of have like, can you make changes? Yeah. Do guys change return positioning? Yeah. Like guys do stuff, but like it's hard to make massive changes. Like we've heard Medvedev kind of talk about this, right? Because there's been a lot of clamor
Yeah.
around Medvedev, like, oh, change what you do, change what you do, and like you can make tweaks, but you can't really
Yeah.
change the game style 180.
Yeah. I mean, I also feel like Nadal, I think Nadal made a lot of changes where he kind of, became more aggressive because
Yeah,
he
I
had
mean he
to
changed the
adapt
grip
to
on his
different
forehand,
surfaces.
right? It's pretty massive to do, or he tweaked his grip a little bit on his forehand to flatten more balls out. So
Right.
yeah,
But also Djokovic and Nadal making changes is easy. It's easier for them than Hubie because they're just freaks of nature, right? Like they have
yeah,
way more athletic ability and athletic gifts. So I think I don't know, watching that Hubie match, like that's what I saw back in like 23, 24 when he was like he had it near top 10 ranking and he was getting all like he was Mr. Over, right? And like
yeah.
and making matches against the top guys 50-50 and making matches against lower ranked guys 50-50, like that's Hubie in a nutshell. And I think that's where he's going to get the best results because like he's going to make matches against top players competitive more so than if he plays like a really aggressive style. Also, maybe he's just healthy now. Like that could be it too.
I
Right?
think it's of both.
Okay. Yeah. But I felt vindicated that like it was painful given he was up a break in the third, but like having plus 240 there at altitude, and I don't think this is a great version of Djokovic. Like I think he's getting better, like relative to what we saw with him against like Arnaldi in Madrid, for example, or Berrettini in Monte Carlo. Like this is a better well not Berrettini, Tabilo in Monte Carlo. Like this is a better version of Djokovic, but like I don't think he's anywhere near where like he can make like a deep push. I think his draw at Roland Garros is pretty good, and we'll get into that. Like so I think he can work his way into the tournament, but playing like this is not, you know, it's not going to get him Grand Slam number 25. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would take a. Yeah, yeah, I mean, I think like I agree. Like, I think I agree kind of with all your points, to be honest. So there's not much more to say there. Like, I think,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right.
I would say that this was like, uh, I honestly think he kind of proved what we talked about before. Like when we put him in our power rankings in like that, in somewhere in that like 3 through 8 tier, that mess of dudes that is probably below Draper and Zverev in a best of 5, but in that 4 through 8 tier that had like Cerundolo, Musetti, Fils, all those guys, like
All right. I
he's
think
still,
Musetti has worked his way where he's above those guys.
yeah, you
Musetti's
and
a
I
little
disagree
higher.
on that, but
Yeah.
but I think where we put Djokovic is somewhere in that general mess of somewhere in like the 3 through 8, somewhere in the 3 through 8. Obviously, I think you probably have Musetti a bit higher. I think that's fine. But
Mhm.
yeah, somewhere in that, I wouldn't put him like outside the top 10.
In terms of best of 5, I put him at like 6 or 7. Like I put him right behind Rude and probably
Okay,
Peter Draper. That's kind of where I put him
okay,
in the best of 5 power ranking.
okay.
So,
I think that's close to fair. Like I don't know.
mhm.
We did our power rankings last show. We're not going to do them again. Otherwise, it'd be a 4-hour pod. But
Yeah.
that's relatively close.
Yep. Yeah. A little bit about Kaboli. I thought he played fantastic today. I thought he played a really good match. I mean, Rublev was frustrated, and like one glaring stat with Rublev is like I think he's like 0-9 in his last 9 matches when he's lost the first set. So I think he just gets angry and like he just can't find his way out of it, you know?
I think it's a little bit of that. We've also talked about he has no plan B. Like plan A is hit hard, plan B is hit harder.
Right.
Plan C is screaming hit harder.
Right. Plan D is like
Plan
injure
C is just
yourself
give
and
up. Like plan
right.
D is just blow up. Like yeah.
Yeah, I know. But credit to Kaboli. I mean, he took advantage, you know, and
Oh, I mean, look, like yeah, I mean, look, he won a 500. Like
yeah,
for him, I mean, I was talking about with somebody on like on X, like somebody was like, oh, like do you think like these guys are gonna look at the draw? Like Kaboli's not looking at the French
no,
Open draw. Like he's like winning a 500 is a massive deal for him. That probably is a career defining achievement for him.
it is. It is, and like we lose sight of that sometimes. Like for anyone not named like Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, Alcaraz, and Sinner, and even Alcaraz and Sinner winning Masters is a big deal. Like all these other events are huge deals for these guys, you know?
Somewhere in between. I don't know for like a Cerundolo, how big of a deal winning like an
Like
Umag
he
is. Like I
always
think
falls short. He always falls short. So of course it's going to be a big deal.
well, he did win Umag last year. That's why I said Umag.
All right, but that's 1/250. I mean, like in terms of winning titles, Kaboli has trumped him, right? But would you put Kaboli ahead of Cerundolo? No.
No, it is odd that he's won 2 titles now on clay in this clay season. It's pretty crazy.
So it's funny because I don't know what your reaction is to the post I had where like there's so many guys that they win this like random title and then they just shit the bed every other tournament. Like FAA is one of them. Kaboli is one of them. Like I think you can even put Rublev in that category. Shapovalov, right? Dallas and Stockholm last year, but um,
I mean, I
you
actually
know,
have a slightly different take there. Like my take would be more that like I don't know, call it 20 through 50. And I talk about this, I bring this up all the time, right? Like
mhm.
20 through 50 is so close. So if a guy likes the balls, likes the conditions, body is feeling better than normal, something positive happened in his personal life that has him in a better mood, like I don't know, like there's all these little things that like, if he's got two or three things going that are each worth, let's say, a half a game a match, which is like nothing, right? Like if he's got two or three of those things going that are each worth like a half a game a match, these like small things that we don't even think about,
Yeah.
like that can make the difference between playing like a top 50 and a top 20 level. It's the margins are so thin. And that's why you see like in the 250s, 500s, like anybody can win. And then you get to the big tournaments when the top 5, 10 guys are in, and all of a sudden that's not the case anymore, right? Because like
Yeah, but I'm not asking Kaboli to win in a Grand Slam. I'm asking him to like win a couple matches, you know? And that's what I mean. Like there are so many guys that they just put together streaks in 1 week, and then like every other week they just shit the bed. It makes it very difficult to handicap. Like I don't know if they're feeling it that week or not.
I mean, I don't know. Like if you take Kaboli, right? Like, so outside of the two events he won,
Mm-hmm.
he was 3-4 at ATP level. Like, given that you're taking it out the times that he's playing at his best, 3-4 doesn't seem that bad.
Who are those four losses to?
Nakashima, Nardi. Sorry, he's 4-5. Nakashima, Nardi, Altmaier, Shevchenko, Fees. So Shevchenko's bad, but the other losses aren't like horrid.
Yeah, Feast is okay.
No,
Uh,
Feast is
yeah,
fine. Like Feast is a
that's
top.
fine.
Yeah. Like,
Like
yeah,
I don't.
you don't want him to lose to Nakashima and Nardi and Altmaier, but like if he's not playing well, that's probably the level he's at in weeks that he's not playing well.
Okay, all right. How about
Like I don't
FAA then? Like
what?
FAA, I feel like he either makes a semi or a final, or he just shits the bed in round one.
Well, we've talked about FA. He seems to struggle starting tournaments, right? So that can be a thing too, right? Some guys struggle more than other starting tournaments. I think that's probably a real thing, but uh yeah, I mean that's been the case for him this year.
It's been the case for him quite more than this year.
Um,
Last year, he just had a random run at the Olympics and in Madrid, and he got really lucky in Madrid. So I'm not even counting that.
I mean, outside of that, he was probably something close to a 500 player, which again, like, is that our expectation of Aliassime? No, but like, again, if it's weeks he's not playing well, right? Like, if you
Hmm.
remove the weeks that the guy's not playing well, then he's not gonna be great. Like, it's not like he loses in the first round of every single one of these tournaments. Like he did have a losing streak
Okay.
this year on the clay, but like, yeah, I don't know. I think it's somewhere in between. I think there's a few different factors with some of these guys, and like
Okay.
certainly some of these guys are more consistent than others. Manny, I kind of agree with you, but I think some of it too is that we see these guys win a tournament and we like increase expectations.
Yeah, and I think from a betting perspective, I think that that's one thing we have to do. Like a lot of people now are going to overvalue Kaboli, I feel, just because he won a 500, beat Rublev in the final, came back from setting the breakdown against Edge, like it was a good run. And like in reality, is that really something you can hold on to? Like I'm not updating my priors.
I think a lot of these guys are who they are, especially like you want to talk about Kabuli specifically, a guy who's like has a little bit more of a volatile game style, right? Has talent, goes big, hits big, but it makes some dumb bad errors. So if he's not hitting the ball well that week, he doesn't like whatever's going on.
Yeah.
He doesn't
But
like
I
the
mean,
conditions.
that's why Sinner and Alcaraz I think they're going to separate themselves from the pack because like
I mean, it's not. I think they're going to. I think they have already.
they have already, right? But like I mean, maybe Draper is kind of
Oh,
slow
I think. I mean,
getting
I think
there.
there's different tiers and levels to this, right? Like, there's a pretty solid. Clay is different too, right? Because like, I think Clay is probably the most unique of the surfaces in that regard. Where there's a few guys in the top 10 that just don't play the clay well.
Yeah.
Fritz being the one obvious one that comes to mind right away. But
Because for these young guys with talent like Caboli or Naldi, like, do you think that their goal is to crack that mold and win slams? Like, I understand for like a Bublik, right? His expectations are different for his career, right? But like for these young 20-ish Italians, right?
well, Caboli's 23. I think Arnaldi's like 23, 24. These
Okay,
guys
but
are
that's pretty young. Like, I wonder what their expectations are for their career. Like, do they expect to crack that Sinner Alcaraz mold, or like they're already under the realization, like, oh, they're too far ahead, they're too good. Like, I'm just gonna try to scrap and claw for these 500s and stuff, Like,
I think it's probably like a scrap and claw and like, see how it goes, right? If you make improvements and you all of a sudden find yourself in the top 10, then like, hey, let's go. But like, there's a long way for those guys. And like, honestly, like 23, 24 is not that young.
right, right.
Like in tennis now, I mean, these kids come up really young, man. Like if you look at the rankings, just a quick look over the rankings. Sinner's 23, Alcaraz 22, Draper 23, Musetti, we forget him. He's only 23. He's been around forever, but he's only 23.
Yeah.
Hoger Rune's only 22.
Right.
Right? Like Demon is 26, and we think of him as like this grizzled veteran, like old guy. He's in his mid-20s. So I feel like
The tour has changed. Like, just 10 years ago, you used to have like Songa in the top 10, and he was like late 20s, early 30s, right? Like, that used to be the prime. You had Burditch, you had Ferrer, right?
yeah,
Like,
I think that speaks to the development. Like the development these kids have, like, the access these kids have to development is so much higher now, I think.
but their primes might be between 21 and 27 as opposed to 28 to 30 like it used to be.
I think it might just be longer primes, right? Again, I'll go back to the nutrition thing, man. Like the nutrition and the fitness is just so different. Like you look at these guys now, and these guys are like just they just look so much more athletic than their predecessors.
Yeah. Like, how about that 16-year-old soccer player, Lamine Yamal?
Yeah,
Like, look at him. I mean, he's dominating the sport at 16. It's insane.
yeah.
So,
But
yeah.
again, these kids now have access to training and access, I mean, geez, like with the internet, right? Like, I mean, and you look at it, it's not just the top. Like now, a lot of people have access to a lot of training. Like even like I don't know, even like you and I know people, right? We know like we have colleagues, we have friends, yada yada, and like
Yeah,
all their kids are in like travel leagues of everything,
I know. It's crazy. It's a
playing like
crazy
4 hours
world.
a day of like of like the one of this whatever sport they do. Like it's just like it's the way now. And if you're doing that much more practicing at that sport, you're going to be better.
Yeah.
I mean, we could get into a long debate over like that would probably take over the whole French Open preview over like my thoughts on youth sports and society. So I think, but I don't think, I mean, people might want to hear that. They probably don't, given our
We'll do
audience.
another pod on that. We'll put a vote up on the timeline.
What do you want to hear? That's thoughts on.
I hope the answer is no.
I hope so too.
All right. So without further ado, I guess let's get into the French Open. So, I looked at the draw. Like, what are your general thoughts?
I think Sinner and Alcaraz have really separated themselves from the rest of the pack, man.
I agree. Yeah. I
Like
don't.
I mean that's my other takeaway is like this draw really like I don't know, man. Like there's always this like speculation of did the French fix the draw?
Yeah.
Like do I think they actually fixed the draw? No, because if they fixed it truly, they did a pretty crappy job. But man, there are a lot. But like there are a lot of interesting early round matchups, and there are a
Yeah.
lot of really not interesting early round
Yeah.
matchups.
I
Like
agree.
it almost feels like when the NBA schedules like marquee games on Christmas Day, they're like the French set up the schedule like the draw for that just to have like
Well,
exciting high profile first round matchups. I don't think they did that, but it feels like that looking at
but
the
the
draw.
French are notorious for, like, the French Open, I feel like always has this like weird lopsided draw where it's not even on both sides. There's some like crazy matchup potential, right? Like,
Yeah,
and I have personally, I feel like if Alcaraz was the number 3 seed, right, and he could have gone in either half, 100% he would have been in Sinner's half. Because like they want that matchup to happen. That's why like Djokovic was in Nadal's quarter like 2 years
Yeah,
ago.
I'll say I'll agree with that. Like if there is fixing that goes on, I don't think it's intentional to have any guy win. It's
Yeah,
just to like set up matches they want
right,
to bring
right,
in money.
exactly. Right,
But
like
it does feel like this. I mean, going into Q1, like how many marquee matchups are there in Q1 in the first 2 rounds?
yeah, Q1 is loaded. I think Q1 is by far the
It's
toughest spot.
incredibly unfair. I mean, like there are like 15 guys in Q1 that if you put
Yeah.
them in Musetti's quarter, I think would have. I'm not going to say they'd have like a. I would say they would have a legitimate chance at winning. Meaning, I would probably take them at 20-1 if they were in Musetti's quarter. And there's probably 15 guys in Q1 that I would put in that bucket.
I mean, Musetti's quarter is ridiculously easy, and
I don't necessarily agree with that.
okay.
We'll get into that.
All right, that's an interesting disagreement. I honestly like that plus 170 to be honest for
We'll
him.
talk about it. We'll
But
talk about it.
all right, so let's start at the top. So these matches, the first round matches for the top half are on Monday and Tuesday. They're starting
Right.
with the bottom half. But
Right.
we can start with the top of the draw. So we got Sinner and Rinderknecht. We got Otmane and Gasquet, two wild cards. Yuri Lehechka, your new favorite player, against Jordan Thompson. Lamas Ruiz and Davidovich Fokina. Rublev and Harris, Martyr and Walton, Ugo Carballi, Munar, Yari, and Feast. So I guess let's start there with that little top 16. You wanted to comment on Yuri Lehechka?
I mean, like he's moving up my like shit list of guys I just don't like. He's just one of the most frustrating watchers in the sport. He just
Yeah,
gets like he gets sad.
he does. He
And then it
does.
just like falls apart sometimes. And it's just like it's like you were mentioning guys who can play really well or play just but it's like I feel like other guys like like Laheche, he just gets sad. He like gets down, starts like bailing out of rallies, starts doing stupid stuff. Like it's just like he just needs like a confidence guy to be like, you got this when he loses the first set. Like, not
Hmm.
just keep working. Like, yeah, you got this. Like, keep hitting hard. Like, you have a good game. Like, it's gonna be okay.
Right, right.
Feels like when he gets, like like he
Yeah,
tries to go to plan B too quickly.
yeah, just dig in. Just dig in, like
Yeah.
literally. Um, that's what I feel like with watching him, and he just bails out. And like any kind of pain, like whether it's physical or mental, any kind of adversity, he just has no idea how to handle it. Like uh it feels like he's better at dealing with adversity when he's getting a haircut than on the tennis court. Like
Yeah, it
it's
feels
very
like
sad. I mean,
yeah.
I don't trust me. I've gotten frustrated by him too. I stopped backing him in a lot of these matches, especially when like he's kind of struggling a little bit for form. Like it's just impossible to.
Especially as a favorite. Like he's
Yeah.
like if you're gonna back him as a dog, I think that makes more sense because like he does play. Like he's the thing is he sometimes plays really good matches just throughout,
No, I know.
and then but
Yeah.
the problem is like if it starts going poorly, he can get not great really quickly.
And I don't think that's the
But I do
spot.
think that Lehechka Fokina match in round two is very interesting.
Well, I don't necessarily think he's going to get through Thompson. Like I think that's a very interesting match. He
If
should, especially
Thompson
on
is
clay.
Thompson, I don't even remember Thompson playing recently. Has he even been playing recently?
He played in Rome. He barely beat Pericard, and then I think he lost in the next round pretty easily. I mean, he's not
He gave a walkover.
okay. Like he's not good on clay.
And
Um,
I'm not convinced he hasn't been the same guy since Brisbane, to be honest. He wasn't even good in February on hard courts, which in February and March, where you think he would
mm,
be. I'm not convinced.
yeah, true. He couldn't even play Barcelona.
I'm not convinced that everything is right there physically. So that's why I
Could
would,
be.
yeah, that's why I'd fade there.
Okay.
But yeah, and he's not a good clay player to start with. So that
True.
combination, yeah,
But
I
if he was healthy, if that's a healthy version of Thompson, like that's
the
a guy
match is scary.
who,
I get it. The match,
Thompson
yeah.
doesn't give in physically. He's, persistent in rallies. Like he can create problems. And as you said with Lechka, as soon as they're that smidgen of adversity, forget it.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't think this version of Thompson's there.
I
So
agree. I agree.
but I do think that Lehechka Fokina match is really, really interesting in round two.
That is fascinating. Yeah.
I'm happy to see Gasquet get a winnable first round match. Like that's another one that I wonder if was on purpose to give Gasquet a chance, because since this is his retirement tournament,
It
right? So
is. It
like
is.
like I feel like if like this is perfect, right? Like for Gasquet, like you get a winnable first round match, and then you get stomped 2-2-2, but you get to play on center court, and you
Yeah, and
get
then of course they have to put him against a Frenchman, right? Who's like flashy. So like in case Gasquet loses, at least they get another Frenchman in the next round. Like that's such a fixed match. Like nothing will convince me otherwise.
yeah, I hear you. I hear you. This whole draw seems really shady, and that's another example.
I think Rinderneck is an awesome matchup for Sinner. I think that like that has like
There's
two.
nothing to talk about with Sinner in this. I mean, honestly, and like, there's nothing to talk about with Sinner in this sport. Like there are tough opponents in this draw, and I still think he's better than 50% to win this quarter. Well better than 50%.
I
And
agree.
he's like he's minus 225 to win the quarter. I'm kind of like showing the lead up front. He's minus 225 to win a stat quarter. Like it's a two-man tournament.
It is. It
Like
is.
just I mean, there will be a lot of exciting tennis in the
Yeah.
first few rounds, but like there's going to become a point in this tournament where we're going to have like let's just skip the next two rounds, get to the final because like tournament's over.
Right.
And it's kind of
Right.
true.
Yeah. The only thing that's really forced preventing it is injury, I feel.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, there's a lot of guys in this. There's a lot of, and I do feel like they're the comment here is that because this quarter is so stacked, and I think specifically the guys in this quarter, there are a lot of guys in this quarter that could steal a set from Sinner. I don't think there's really too many guys that are a threat, or maybe not even anybody that's really a threat to beat him.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of guys that could steal a set.
But a lot of these guys in this quarter, like, Feast, for example, Draper, who we'll get into, I feel like they'd rather play Alcaraz, as we discussed in our last pod.
I agree. But again, like, can they beat him? Probably not. Do they have the talent to maybe win a set and maybe extend the match? I think so. And they might like Sinner might have to work harder than he would if the draw weren't as tough. That's more my point. I don't think he's really a threat to lose, but he may have to work harder.
Right. Right. Yeah. Like I think Arthur Feast, for example, like he's a guy that could redline and get the crowd pumped up and involved and like steal a set, but can he do that for five?
Exactly.
No, but like see the thing from a betting perspective, I don't think we're even gonna get plus money for him to win a set. Like everyone's gonna expect him to show up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like it's gonna be hard to handicap.
Yeah.
I might like if they play and like Sinner is a 5.5, 6 game favorite, like I probably lay the games, honestly, because like I just don't think Feast could maintain that.
I think 6 would probably be somewhere around the right line for that match.
Okay. Yeah. But they're definitely on a collision course. Like Nico Yari is, especially at sea level, like
I was gonna say that's really you. You mentioned that we were talking the pre-match. You're like, oh, that's a match we should talk about. I don't think there's anything to talk about there. If he's gonna stomp him.
okay. All right, fair. Depends on the price though. Right? Like, isn't the consensus from the market that like Yari's a good clay quarter?
Oh, I don't know about that anymore. I mean, he's been so terrible now for the whole season, you know.
I hear you. I hear you. Yeah.
He's out of the top like 130 or something. Like he won't be in main draw matches anymore within like a month or two.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Yeah, I mean he's challenger level. I feel like the last couple of years he's overachieved, honestly. Right?
I don't know. He did really well. I don't know that I agree with that. He did really well the past couple of years, but this year's been a disaster. I don't really know why, but it's
Yeah.
been. He lost to Schwartzman.
Yeah. Right, let's end it there.
Yeah.
That's fine. But yeah, I mean, I would be very shocked if it's not a Sinner Feast round of 16.
I would agree.
So Going down to this second 16 in this quarter, de Minaur and Jiri, Bublik and
I
Duckworth.
think that's a marquee first round match, by the way.
De Minaur and Jiri.
I kind of think I'm probably gonna have some money on Jerry to win the opening set.
Really? All right, not me.
Been really, really good. I mean, he was better in South America than on the European clay, but he's been really good on clay this year, man. He's like, I have the stats pulled up somewhere. He's like something like he's 17-3 this year on clay against guys not named Carlos Alcaraz, and 11-2 against top 100 opponents on clay not named Carlos Alcaraz this year. He lost to Fonseca and one other guy. I can't remember who else.
Yeah, but best of 5 and the physicality of it. Plus, I think it's like, well, this match is on a Monday. What's the weather like? I think the weather is quite important here. Like, if it's really, really slow, then I actually give the edge to Jiri. If it's like a little quicker, then and they play earlier in the day, then I give the edge to de Minaur.
Yeah, I think that's why I said set one, right? I think Jiri could. I do agree with you. I think there's a big. I also think there's a mental gap. Like I don't love Jiri in like close moments trying to like finish a match. So I think like Jiri to win the opening set or Jiri plus sets is the way I'd probably play it. But yeah,
Then I think you should play a Jiri to win the opening set and lose the match.
if I can find it, maybe. The problem is they're not going to be that different. I don't know. I don't know.
Right, that's true. That's true. Yeah. I hear what you're saying. To me, the weather is really important, so I didn't hit anything there yet just because like I want to see what the conditions are like and what time of the day they play in. Because I saw de Minaur, he played Paul in Rome, and it was like after the rain delay, it was super slow. And Klaus pointed it out on the timeline too, and like he was spot on. Like de Minaur just can't play on really slow conditions because he just doesn't have enough power.
I think Tommy Paul also played a really brilliant tactical match. I watched that match. He was hitting everything to the Demon backhand. And Demon was struggling on the backhand. And it was a really, really like Demon, like that, which is the other problem. Like Jerry's not the smartest player mentally.
Right.
So I don't like, but he does have the skills to give Demon fits for until Demon figures it out.
Okay. I hear it. I hear you. I think another one of these really, really fascinating first round matches is Alex Muller against Jakub Mensik. I love that matchup. I think, like, to me, conditions also really matter in this match. So, like, I didn't want to hit anything because I think if it's slower and a little damper and heavier, I think that really gives Muller the edge. And I think if it's like quicker during the day, sunny, like that helps Mensik with his serve. I think Muller is going to have a hard time returning, but if he gets like, if he is able to like get a good return in and start rallies, I think that's where Mensik is really going to struggle. So if his serving dips just a little bit, that's when I think Muller can pounce. So like, I kind of really like overs there or something backing Muller in some capacity.
I made this mistake earlier this year. It was an indoor hard tournament. I think it was sometime in February, or maybe it was last year. But it was within the past 12 months for sure. I backed Muller against Mensik. I think it was popcorn tennis. I think you beat me on it. It was on an indoor hard court, but Mensik won like 3-2 and just overpowered him.
Yeah.
The path I think for Muller to win this match is to wear Mensik down physically. So
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know that I like overs here. Like, if I'm gonna play this, like, and I might end up playing this, but I'd probably be looking at like a 3-2 Muller or something, like a massive price.
Okay.
And hoping for that. I just think I think it's actually a tough matchup for Muller. I just think Mensik, like, he just hits too big. I get it if it's a slow court, but like Mensik can hit through anything, man. Like that guy's got shots off both wings.
Yeah, but his forehand breaks down in rallies.
I don't know if Muller can break it down though. I don't know if Muller has enough. Like Muller's been playing more aggressively. That's one of the reasons he's playing a lot better this year than previous years. But I don't love this. The only part of this matchup I love for Muller is the physicality piece. I do think it's a physical, fascinating matchup though because of that. Because I do think Mensik has a physical talent and skills gap. but
Yeah.
I think Muller has he's probably a little smarter of a player, and he's a lot better physically.
Okay. I guess since we're on this topic, I can check what the line is. I guess we can kind of incorporate round one talk into the draw
Yeah.
talk. Mensik is a 5-game favorite.
Feels about right.
Muller is plus 220 on the money line. Over under is 37.5. If you want to play the Muller 3-2, that's plus 650.
What is the Mensick 3-2?
Plus 440.
Like that's kind of what I'm talking about, right? Like, if this gets to a fifth set, is Mensick is Mensick really a favorite in a fifth
Good
set?
point. That's a good point.
What is Mensick minus 1.5 sets?
Mensik 1.5 sets is minus 145.
I'm thinking about doing like this awkward thing of playing both, like 1.5 units on Mensick minus 1.5 sets, and then a unit on Muller 3-2. I don't see Muller winning this one easy.
Yeah, but I don't see like if I were playing it that way, I would play the Mensik 3-1 and the Muller 3-2 because like I can't see it being Mensik 3-0.
Oh, I could.
You
Yeah,
could.
we disagree on that because he's being an absolute, like, I mean, yeah. I guess he's being a 3-0.
Okay. All right. Interesting, fascinating match. Hubie, Hurkacz, and Fonseca. Like this is what we're talking about. Like the number of good matchups in this.
Yeah,
Court.
this is an insane first round match.
Yeah.
What's the line there? Because I think Hubie should be a favorite.
I agree, and this is going to be one of my biggest plays of the first round is Hubie money line. Fonseca's a 1-game favorite, I believe. Last time I checked, 1.5-game favorite.
Yeah, I'll be
Fonseca's
playing
minus
Hubie
140.
I'll be playing Hubie here as a dog.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
That's GBM.
Yep, I agree. I agree.
Fonseca has not been good this clay season.
Yep.
Um,
And I think Hubie's game actually really matches up well with Fonseca because what Hubie does is like hit bombs and then he gets a lot of balls back.
and the bombs will be able to keep him steady on the scoreboard
Right. Yep.
when Fonseca's playing well.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that should probably be flipped.
If not more. The one thing I am worried about is the difference in conditions with Geneva and Paris and like having less time to get used to them.
That's fair. I mean, I guess the flip side of that would be that Hubie's a veteran. I will need to go back and see what Hubie's done. I didn't think about that this angle of I do need to see what Hubie's done in previous like how he's responded to but Hubie plays like every week. I don't think it's gonna be like a too many matches problem mentally or physically.
No, it's probably going to be on Tuesday, honestly.
No, it will be Tuesday. They almost all
Yeah.
I mean I think I remember this. I know one of the slams they actually held a match that was in the bracket. It was supposed to be Sunday, Monday,
Mm-hmm.
and they held it until Tuesday because somebody was playing in a tournament on Saturday. So I think they actually make that exception now, where if there's a guy playing in a final,
And then they have to play back-to-back days.
no, they hold that section an extra day until like the fourth round or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
because it doesn't make a big deal, right? Like if you've got 16-16 versus 17-15 split of matches, if you have 17 matches on the second day instead of 16, it doesn't make a huge difference, right?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I think it was like maybe Thompson or somebody like that
I thought that's why they're increasing the first round to 3 days just because of money. Like that's first and foremost. But like I thought that was another reason why they did it because they wanted to give the people coming from like Saturday finish an extra day.
I think they do that for like maybe Friday people,
Okay.
right? Like semifinalists who on Friday, but
Yeah.
I think it's a I think it's mostly just money.
Yeah. It's probably not a huge concern, but in terms of Draper, what do you think his roadblocks are? Like do you think
None. I mean, realistically, me. I mean, I guess like if Fonseca's playing well, that's obviously. But didn't Draper crush Font? Did they play? Did Draper? They played. I can't remember who won the match, but they did play recently.
mm, let's
They
see.
played. Draper beat him. 4-1.
Yeah, they played in Indian Wells and he got him 4-love.
Yeah, I mean, my bet in this quarter, my only bet in this quarter is I think Draper and Sinner to meet at like 325, and I also have a 175 plus 175 on Draper to make the quarterfinals.
Okay.
A
That's
rare play for me to back Draper so hard given his physical issues, but I think he's gotten a little bit better with those, and I just like physical issues aside, I think he's 50-50 to make the quarters.
no disagreement. I actually think he's better than 50-50. Like I think De Minaur is actually going to struggle to get there. You mentioned that the first round is really tough. Second round should be easy, but then like if he has to play Mensik in the third round, like
I think
that's
it's a really good matchup for
tough.
Demon if he plays Mensik, personally,
Okay.
just because the
Yeah.
physicality
A
gap.
better version of Muller, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, better, right? Like a lot better. And then a lot better on and a lot better on both the mental and the physical side.
right, right. Although Muller is tough mentally for what he has,
Yeah. Oh,
right?
yeah. That's not a shot at Muller, right? That's saying
Yeah,
that like Demon are for his style is the best in the game at his style.
I agree. I agree.
Right? Like so like there are levels, right? Like Muller is very good at what he does. Demon is the best in the game. He's the best pure counter puncher in the game.
Hmm. But when if Draper and De Minaur meet in the fourth round, like De Minaur has the physicality edge, but he has nothing else,
Not on clay. Yeah, not
right?
on clay.
Yeah. So I think it's a really tough matchup for De Minaur if Draper gets there. So I
Yeah, if Draper can like the key for Draper is going to be not playing five setters early in the event. That's kind of an obvious thing, but he failed to do that at the Australian Open. He's got to get through these early matches quickly where he's the better player.
hmm
But like he should that should be 3-0 against Bellucci. Monfils has not been playing great, or he's been playing. I mean,
no,
maybe, but like that should be that. I mean that
should be 3-0.
yeah could be 3-0, probably should be, but I guess Monfils would have a chance to take a set maybe.
Hmm.
Hubie or Fonseca. I mean, if it's Hubie, it's not a physical matchup anyways, just because there's going to be a lot of quick points on serve. Um, if it's Fonseca, that could be tough.
But I actually think that's a matchup where Draper would have the physicality edge. Like it's one of the very few matchups like
One of the
late
very
in the
nice. I
event.
agree. I agree.
So and
But
then
yeah, regardless, I just think like I really like I
my favorite is the center to play Draper in the quarterfinals at 325. Like that's GBM for sure.
I
Uh,
yeah, that
I
could be
actually much
GBM.
prefer that than the plus 175. I don't mind that, but I just think like, if you can add center there when we think he's like what probably like 75-80% chance to make the quarters, like why not? I'd rather get that added value.
This is a second. Yeah, I agree.
You know?
I think they're adding a lot of value in for that. I would agree with that.
Hmm.
Yeah, definitely. I played the 175 on Draper make the quarters, but you're right. I agree. I think the 325 on the quarterfinal matchup is better. That'll be the GBM play.
Okay. Sounds good. Next quarter, we got Sasha Zverev and Lerner Tien. We got Jesper de Jong and Francisco Pissarro. We got Marin Cilic and Flavio Caboli. We got Matteo Arnaldi and Felix Auger-Aliassime. What a little section here. This is crazy.
That was my comment.
It's an insane little section. Holy shit.
Yeah, and Capoli's shown in the past that when he wins titles, he doesn't necessarily just tank out terribly the next week. Like he goes back to probably being like normal Caboli, but some guys like just are like mentally or physically exhausted and they need like 2 weeks off. I don't think Kabully's in that category. He's just going to go back to being like the top 40, top 50 self he is.
Dan
Which
Evans.
what? Yeah,
Dan
exactly.
Evans.
Yeah, exactly. He's not Dan Evans. Like, so like, he's which in this section makes it very interesting. I mean, I'm also really happy just as a tennis fan to see that Cilic got a lucky loser spot.
I agree.
Um,
Yeah, he deserves it. He
yeah.
probably deserved a wild card, honestly. Like, come on.
Oh, we're gonna get into that. That is gonna be a rant of mine. That we're gonna have a rant when we get later.
A Brad rant.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Chilich. I mean that it's kind of pathetic that like a two-time Grand Slam champion gets a wild card or doesn't get a wild card into this event and is forced to play qualifying. Like who are the wild cards in this event?
Yeah, that's where we'll get to.
Okay. Let's
We
get
will
into
get
it
to.
now.
I have one wild card who I am not happy about.
All right, let's look at the wild cards.
Like I understand giving the French players a bunch of wild cards. I don't. I actually think it's dumb. But I guess theoretically they think like, oh, it's going to help French tennis and like, oh, it's going to bring more fans out because they want to come see the local kids. Like, I don't know that I.
So I guess you're not disappointed with Wawrinka, right? You think that's a deserved wild
I
card,
guess deserve. I
right?
think that's fine. Yeah, I'm fine with
All
Wawrinka.
right, Tristan Schoolkate. Okay, we'll give it to you because
No, we're not. No, we're not going to give it to Trish. Like the Australian Open should have forfeited their wild card because they don't have a player to play on clay, and they should have like I don't know.
But they have an agreement with
I know. I
Australia.
understand it, but like, come on, we're putting Tristan Schoolkate in this event, like really, like the guy, and like on top of the guy doesn't even take clay seriously. Like he played hardcore challengers all
Yeah, that's
spring.
true. That's true.
I mean, like I don't know, man. Like at least let's have guys that want to try to do well in the event. Not guys who are like, oh well, I guess I got a wild card, so I guess I'll come take my $50,000 paycheck. Like I know
Well,
there's
what's Chilic's ranking? Like, why does Valentin Royer get a wild card? Cilic
Chelic's ranking is like, well, the problem is it's
104.
not. Remember that the entry cutoff is like 6 or 8 weeks in advance. I don't remember the exact cutoff, but it's not the week before. That's the cutoff for seeding, but it's not the cutoff. Yeah, you have to look at the ranking like history. That's the problem, right? That cutoff I think is somewhere. It's somewhere. I think it's right around that February, March timeframe.
Yeah, March. So he was around 143, but like Valentin Royer, he's 117. Like that difference is not that big. Well, what was Royer's ranking during that time? I can't imagine it was that different.
No, he's been 120.
Yeah, it was like in the 115s, 116. So like that difference is what, 30 spots, and they give him a wild card?
Well, they're just supporting the country, right? But yeah, I agree. I think it's dumb. Like, from like a fan's perspective, you don't think fans are going to come out and watch Marin Cilic? Like Marin Cilic is a name in tennis.
But I think more fans are going to come out and watch Valentin Royer. The French love their guys.
Oh, you think so? Okay, yeah. I don't know, man. I think
at least reward the guy that's won 2 slams and has like put countless hours.
It's pretty close. I don't like. I honestly do. Like I don't know that like. I know the French crowd supports their people, but I don't know, man. I feel like it's like if you're talking about like I don't know, like some random dude in the one like Emilio Nava versus a French guy, yeah, I agree. But this is like, or even but this is a slam champion. Like this is a known player,
I see to me the Nava and the Schoolkate ones. I mean, they're obviously bad, but like the French have deals with the USTA and Tennis Australia that they have to abide by the regulations, right? So to me, those are more forgivable than like giving Royer or Otmane a wild card. Like sacrifice one of your guys and like reward some guy who's given a lot to the sport.
I think Nav is actually deserving. I understand where you're going with it, but I think Nav. My issue is Schoolkate. My issue is specifically with Schoolkate. He didn't play. He played one clay match in Geneva. and he got beat by like some clown in like the first round of qualies. Like, I don't know, man. At least let's have guys in this event who like want to play clay court tennis, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's a slap in the face to Chilich, honestly. Like it, I feel bad for the guy. He's done nothing but like give his all to the sport for years,
Yeah.
right? And like that's
Yeah.
how he gets treated. Like I remember the year after he won the U.S. Open, the first match they put him on like court 5.
Yeah.
Like really?
I know, man.
How disrespectful to a guy. Like I don't
Yeah.
know.
I agree. He gets crapped on
More than anyone
for being
and he doesn't deserve it.
no, for being a really like for having an amazing career.
Yeah.
He has the US Open and what, two other finals?
Yeah, Australian in 17 or 18 and Wimbledon in 17.
Yeah, so three-time finalist, that's a pretty darn good career.
It is with Masters events. He beat Murray in that Cincinnati final.
Yeah,
He's been in the top 10 for years. He made the semis here just like 2 or 3 years ago,
I remember that. Yeah.
right? Beating Medvedev in like straight sets when Medvedev
Yeah.
was actually good.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know. Like you could argue that Cilic has had a better career than Del Potro. You could argue that. I wouldn't say that necessarily, but you could argue that.
It's close.
It's
It's really
close, right?
close. I mean,
And
both have a
like
slam title. Chilich has two finals. I don't remember how many Masters Del Potro has.
one Indian Wells.
Okay, so Chilich has one, right? So it's
Yeah.
really close.
It's close. And like the amount of respect that Del Potro gets compared to the amount of respect that Cilic gets is just like it's stupid.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right.
I agree
Transition.
with you. I
Huh?
I yeah, I don't know what else to say. And he still is playing at a pretty good level.
Yeah.
When he's playing well, when he's got it going, he's playing at a pretty good level.
Hmm. That's a very interesting match with Kaboli coming off a title versus a guy who like has a good top end level still. What's the line there since we're on this
I
subject?
don't know, but I think yeah,
What's your guess?
maybe 4 games to Kabuli, something like that. Maybe
Um,
a little less, maybe more like 3. Maybe not. Maybe I'd say 4. I'm gonna go with 4 is my guess.
Kaboli, let's see here. Um, yeah, you're spot on. 3-game favor for Kaboli, minus 185.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't be on Chilich at that price.
Yeah,
I'd be tempted to back Kabuli. I got to think about it. Probably not. It's probably a stay away at that price.
I agree.
But that means against one of the better unseeded players, he has a chance to win. You can't say that about a bunch of the wild cards, right? Like Tristan Schoolkate has no chance to win against 90% of the players in this draw. You know, like,
Yeah, I would agree with that.
and he's not even like young or interesting. He's just like this clown who like is in because of an agreement because Australia can't find a guy who wants to play clay court.
Because
Like,
he took a set off Sinner, the Australian Open.
right, but it's like it's because Australia can't find a guy who wants to play on clay. That's the problem.
Right.
But then like I guess my like I understand there's an agreement. I don't love the agreement if Australia is not going to have guys who want to compete on clay.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I agree. How about this Arnaldi FAA match since we're kind of on that subject of this little mini section? To me, I think it's a pure pick. Like that's where the line should be.
I don't agree with that.
Okay.
But I don't think it should be much more than like minus 150 plus 120 for FAA. And I can see your argument. I mean, I guess the question is like, how do we feel like Arnaldi does against this FAA game style? It's hard. I think it's kind of a neutral
Hard, yeah.
matchup. So yeah,
I think it's a good matchup for Arnaldi because like FA hits very like linear balls.
Yeah.
Right? And like FAA tries to be really aggressive. Like he doesn't really have a plan B that, you know.
I feel like so on that end, yes. It kind of depends how FA is playing. If FA is like making balls, then I think it's a tough matchup for Arnaldi because like Arnaldi tends to overhit and miss. If FA is having a day where he's missing balls, then I think it's a great matchup for Arnaldi. So I think it's pretty neutral. I think FA is a slightly better play quarter still. Arnaldi's really stagnated out. We kind of talked about him a little bit, a little bit.
Yeah.
We talk about him a lot. I know you and I are big Arnaldi fans. We talk about him a lot on our podcast.
His fandom is diminishing.
I just think he's stagnated. Like we kind of talked about it before. Like it's hard to make these steps, and I feel like he's kind of taking the steps up to where he is, and like this might be like he might like he's what 23 or 24, so he might be entering his prime, and
Right.
maybe his prime is that. Maybe it's maybe
Well,
he's
FA is a 1 game favorite, so you were spot on.
what's the line? Minus 130 plus 110?
Minus 125 plus 105.
Yeah, I'm not close. To me, I might back FA there. It's close. At a minus 125.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's close. I'm not saying I'm gonna do it. It's yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next part of the draw, we got Cerundolo against Diallo. Giron and Greekspor. Shevchenko and Lajovic. Ethan Quinn.
That's a first round match, actually. Shevchenko Lajovic, like two guys who Shevchenko's really fallen off, and so is Lajovic. Shevchenko, I'm not sure why. I think Lajovic is just done. He looks so like he's always been slow, but Lajovic looks even slower now. Like it's like yeah.
I hear you. I don't know. Shevchenko is just like he has no offense.
Which is weird because he used to have an offense.
Yeah, I also think he plays way better at altitude. He needs help from the court, you know? Like
Probably
Lajovic,
true.
it's
I don't know, man.
heavier.
I don't
At sea level, I definitely give Lajovic the edge, but like it's not a match I want to watch or cap.
yeah.
Like
I just meant it's interesting. I didn't necessarily mean like it's interesting for like the wrong reasons.
Ethan Quinn and Dimitrov, I actually think that's fascinating. Because
Dimitrov has really fallen off, man. He's a guy that looks like he's done. I mean, he can barely.
Huh?
He has a hard time even making it through matches now.
I mean, he had a decent run in Madrid. Losing to Diallo is not great.
I don't know that I was even say his run was that good in Madrid. I'm gonna look it up, but I wouldn't. I don't even know that I would agree with that comment.
Yeah, you're probably right. Beating Yari and Fernley is not.
Monte Carlo. He beat Yari, a struggling Tabilo in 3, and Vaccaro in 3. And then his Madrid run was 2 matches he won. He beat Fernley, who's playing better on clay, but
yeah,
still.
You're right.
And he beat Yari again. So I'm not convinced. Like 5-3 is not a bad record, but 2 wins over Vaccaro, win over Vaccaro, win over struggling Tabilo, 2 wins over Yari, and a win over Fernley. Like I'm not, and with a loss to Diallo and Pissarro mixed in, I'm not impressed.
So what do you think that line should be with Ethan Quinn and Dimitrov?
Oh, but I would still. I mean, I don't know that Quinn is really a play quarter either. Although
he qualified. He played pretty well.
Yeah, but he's lost to Dusan and Federico Arnaboldi already this year on clay. Also, I mean, I would still put Dimitrov as a pretty big favorite, but probably like 4 to 5 games, something like that. Maybe 4.5. So I very well may end up on Ethan Quinn.
Yeah, it's 5.
Yeah, it's probably stay away then. I actually think it's pretty respectful to Quinn though. To put Quinn as like a 5, which is like, minus like 1.75 sets or something like that. Like that's saying that they think Ethan Quinn's going to win a set. Like Quinn to win a set is probably like minus 180, something like that.
Quinn to win a set is minus 230.
So that's pretty respectful to Quinn, as a qualifier, like against a top 16 seed, to say that you like That's the market saying they think this is going to be competitive. Like, yeah, they think Dimitrov is going to win, but they think it'll be competitive. I think that's pretty fair.
I actually, an interesting angle is to play the Quinn set 2 money line.
Why not just set 1?
Because if we're thinking that Dimitrov is going to struggle physically, don't you think like he'll struggle more as the match progresses?
What about the set 3 money line? Ooh, you get really tricky.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe that. I mean, if you look at Dimitrov's recent record, he struggled more, like in Madrid, for example, he struggled more as the match has progressed. So like against Yari, I mean, I was at that match. The second set was way more competitive than the first. Against Fernley as well. And
Yeah.
against Diallo as well. So like I think he's not a one-dimensional player, but like, if he feels it a little bit physically, like his ball just doesn't have enough.
It's also that slice doesn't help nearly as much on the clay. It sits up a lot more on the clay. Like,
Yeah.
clay was never a great surface for him, and now we've got I think, a struggling Dimitrov. Like, even the Miami run, like he beat Kachanov in a really tight match. Nakashima he beat, and he beat Cerundolo in a super tight match where really Cerundolo choked. Like, previous version, like Dimitrov last year, I think would be well above Kachanov, Dolo, and Nakashima.
Yeah. I mean, I think John pointed it out on their preview pod that like Quinn kind of fits the player profile of Pissarro and Diallo, who like Dimitrov lost to. So like he's an
I
aggressive,
don't think it's the player profile of Diallo. I mean, Diallo's like a big server.
but Quinn is also like he's an attacking minded player.
True. I guess from that perspective, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of want to back Quinn in some capacity. Like initially, I was thinking backing Dimitrov, but like I'm thinking of backing Quinn in some way.
I hear you.
Yeah, it's interesting. All right, Medvedev and Nori, Kovacevic and Gomez, Fernley and Wawrinka. That's a fascinating first round match.
I don't know, man. Like, it's fascinating for a set. Wawrinka really play 3 sets this point. Like, it's honestly, the Wawrinka wild card's a little bit of a tough one because like he's still like he's deserving of it, but
He got to a final of a challenger, a challenger 175, and lost the quarter in the third set breaker. Like,
yeah, okay,
without
maybe
that run, I'd agree with you, but like, showing something.
a little bit of life, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then you got Chris O'Connell and Ugo Humbert. You got Shapovalov and Pedro Martinez, which I think is actually an interesting matchup.
Well, I think O'Connell and Bear is the section above. Not that it really matters because they're not really very relevant players on a slow clay, but yeah, they're part of the Medvedev section. The
Yeah.
Chapo goes the other way.
Right.
Chapo
Chapo was in
and
the bottom section of this
yeah.
quarter. So Misalek and Boo, Mugte and Tabur, and McMackey and Novak. So I guess let's broaden the spectrum out and just like talk about the quarter as a whole. I think this is a really tough quarter to bet. If you look at the quarter prices, I think Zverev was Djokovic was plus 250 to win the quarter. Zverev was plus 300 and Cerundolo was like plus 600.
Yeah.
I think that's accurate, honestly.
I strongly disagree.
Okay.
I don't really understand what the market's done here. So if you take those prices, right, that works out to a roughly, plus or minus a couple percent, a roughly 70% chance of winning the quarter for those 3 guys. I think it's a lot higher. Like, would you really take the field at like are you telling me you take the field at like plus 200 over Zverev, Cerundolo, and Djokovic?
No, but I think that part of what's baked into that line is that the uncertainty of which guy is going to come through.
Back them all.
Okay. So is that what you're doing?
I've got no. I mean, given that Djokovic has pulled out of two of the last four slams, and two of the last five slams since 2024, and you know, he has a propensity now for dud matches. No, I'm not backing. I'm not. I mean, I think Djokovic is okay value, but I can't get behind him just from a physicality perspective.
Okay.
Um,
But his draw is wicked easy.
what?
His draw is super easy. Mackie in the
I know
first
his
round, you
draw
can't
super
ask for a
easy.
better draw. Mute, that's fantastic. Shapovalov, I'm not even convinced he's going to get there,
Yeah, Chapo. Yeah, I
right?
agree. The draw is fantastic. I
And
said
then the
form.
fourth round to have
My note
Medvedev, like that's
is
great.
form looks much better in Geneva. Incredibly weak draw, but I don't trust him physically. That's all it is. It's just a pure like. If you told me that he could get through 5 matches healthy after playing 4 matches in Geneva in the past 5 days, I would agree. I at this point I can't trust it, so I'm not backing it because of that. But I don't think the price is horrible. It's just I just don't know that I trust him physically. I also in a best of 5 against Zverev. That seems like can he get through that? I know obviously then in that case Zverev's gonna have serious mental fears, so that it goes that way too if he gets there. But
Yeah, but
yeah,
also Zverev has to worry about a potential match with Cerundolo, and I think like his road to the quarterfinal is tougher than Djokovic's.
um, I agree. I agree. Um, but I think he's a better player than Djokovic in a best of 5. Um, yeah, and the price is
Okay.
better. I mean, I think Zverev should be the favorite, not Djokovic to win this quarter, mostly because of the physicality. Um,
Not me, just because Dolo is looming.
I mean, I'm backing Zverev and Dolo. So
Okay.
I like Dolo or I like Zverev at 3-1 to win the quarter. And then I think Dolo's like 22-1 to make the final. Well, maybe that might not be go so good with Sinner around. But I don't know, man. Like you said on the pod, man, like that Dolo Sinner matchup is not terrible for Dolo.
It
Like if
is,
he
but you add best of 5 to it. You add like, having to do that for longer. Like you could see Dolo kind of tapering out as the match progressed. Like he just couldn't maintain that level. Like, and there's no let up with Sinner, so like trust me. I mean, I think he's a top 10 clay quarter. I think actually the Dolo forehand in that matchup is probably the biggest shot on the court still. But the problem is he has to make like 3 or 4 in a point, and then like to do that over 4 hours. Like I just can't see it. Like with Zverev, he matches up so well with Zverev because Zverev gives him balls to hit and unload on
what chance do you give Dolo against Sinner in a theoretical matchup?
in a best of 5 in a
Yeah.
semifinal.
Yeah.
It's like 90-10.
Feels long, but okay.
Maybe 85-15.
Okay.
But yeah, and then with Cerundolo and Zverev, I probably give in a best of 5, it's probably 60-40 for Zverev. In a best of 3 right now, it's probably 55-45 for Dolo.
I don't disagree with any of that. I just like I guess my overall point is like one of those 3 dudes is winning the quarter.
Okay. I agree with that.
Right? Like I wouldn't take the field.
No.
The implied market is saying that there's a 30% chance. Actually, it's more than that. They're saying it's like 33% chance because there's Vig in there
Uh-huh.
So the implied market is saying that like the market's implying that like 33% chance for the field to win this quarter. The field being anybody not Zverev, Dolo, or Djokovic. I can't see that. I think it's more like honestly, I think it's more like 10% chance for those guys combined.
I would agree with that, but I just think that there's so much uncertainty over which guy will make it. So I think that that's why the pricing is the way it is. Like, I don't think the book really knows whether to make Zverev the favorite or Djokovic the favorite, just because of like Djokovic's physicality versus Zverev's lack of form.
That's fine, but then they should both be at like 200, not 300 is my point. Right? It shouldn't be like a 215 and 300. It should be like a 300, 300 or a 200, 200, 400, something like that, right? Like I don't think it should be. Yeah,
I also think Dolo, like the fact that he has to beat both of them to win the quarter makes that 600 not a good price.
yeah, I mean, I think that's the tough part I have with Dolo here, ironically, is that we saw Dolo last year completely crap the bed against Djokovic once he got ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen him do that before in big moments. That would be my fear.
And then like the fact that he would have to do that twice is what, you know.
Well, I think this Zverev one would be less scary because he's beaten Zverev the
Yeah,
last
and the
couple.
Djokovic one would be to make a semi of a slam for the first time.
That would be the tough one. Yeah.
So, for me, ironically, if I was gonna bet someone in this quarter, it would be Djokovic at the plus 260. I never thought I'd be saying that a couple days ago, and it doesn't really have anything to do with the Geneva run. It's just the way this quarter lined up and how easy of a draw it is, like up to the quarterfinal.
Yeah. I think that is a fair comment. Um, like I said, I was gonna back all three, and then I kind of pulled off of Djokovic because I'm a little worried about the just physicality. I just don't like I'm just nervous. Like I said, like we've now seen him have to retire from two of the last four slams.
Okay,
To me,
I'm
like,
not backing him to win the event. I'm backing him to win the quarter, right? Like the last
oh,
pull
he
out.
had to pull out before the quarter
Yeah,
of
but
the
that was also a really tough draw where he had to play Musetti at like 3 o'clock in the morning and then play Dolo, right? Like he doesn't have that this time around.
I think we've seen that this is not the same physical Djokovic as previous years.
Okay.
24, he looked absolutely terrible for two sets, right? Against Sinner, physically in the 24 Australian
Yeah.
Open. I just think there's been too many instances now of like Pete Djokovic, not even Pete Djokovic. Like if Djokovic shows up at like his average level, I agree. I think there's a huge risk here of injury, just yeah,
Yeah.
it's I don't think this is the same Djokovic physically, and that's why I'm in a French Open. It's I, but the price isn't bad. I think you're getting a pretty good price. But
Okay.
yeah, my rant on this one is that I can't not take one of those three favorites when it's priced this way. Like it's like I don't care. Like I don't care that the market is having a hard time figuring out who's going to win it. Just like pick someone. Like they're all good value. Pick all three. Like I mean, honestly, you can pick all. I mean, the pricing is such you can pick all three, put a unit on each of them, and profit. Like no matter which of the three wins.
But for me, if I'm gonna play quarter futures here, why not just parlay them with Sinner and Alcaraz?
I actually don't agree with that. The price on Alcaraz is such crap. It's like below minus 300. Sinner, I think, is borderline. I wouldn't, but I think it's borderline. He just has a tough draw, but um,
I
but
honestly think we'll get into Alcaraz's section a little later, but like I think the only thing holding him back is injury risk. So is injury risk really worth that? Like if there was no injury risk, he'd be probably minus 1,000 to win the quarter.
I don't agree with that. I think once you start doing math, it's
Okay.
hard to
I'm
back
not
that.
doing math. I'm just kind of playing devil's advocate here, but like I just I don't know. Like, I think he has a great quarter too. Like, I think it's a really easy draw.
I hear you, but the market 350 minus 350, I think was the quarter price.
Yeah,
That's
what's the
giving it
implied probability?
78% to win a quarter, 78% to win 5 matches in a row. That means like his average chance of winning the match of each match is like 95%. Like the first 2 matches, it's probably there, but like, and then that's not even factoring in injury risk, right? So then you have injury risk on top of that. Like, I just think like the pricing is so insane on both those guys that yeah, I actually don't really think it represents value.
Okay, most cappers would probably agree with that. Like most like pro cappers, I would assume. But I don't know. I like so I actually have a bet. It's a Bovada special, and if you parlay them just individually, you get like 15 to 1. But if you take their special, you get like a little extra value. So I got
So
18.
who did you parlay?
The Sinner, Djokovic, Musetti, and Alcaraz to win their quarters at 18 to 1.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah. All right, let's get into the Musetti quarter because I think we have a different take here, which is quite
Yeah.
interesting. So the Musetti quarter here, he's the 8th seed. He'll play Yannick Hanfmann. He'll play the winner of Valentin Royer and Daniel Alahi Galan, Riley Opelka and Rinky Hijikata, Mariana Navoni and Brandon Nakashima. Round out that little section, and we got retirement king Tomas Mahak against Quentin Halys, Miomir Kecmanovic and Sabita Baez, who has really struggled recently, Emilio Nava, one of your favorite wild cards, and Van de Zandschulp.
I like Nava as a wild card. Nava's been, I mean, hey, tip to Nava. He's been something absurd on the Challenger Tour.
Yes, yes.
And I think it's been mostly American Clay Court Challengers. So okay, maybe not the
Yeah, but he won like 4 or 5 in a row. So like when you're winning that many matches in a row, you
that's my
deserve
point.
props.
I don't even really care when you've won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 15, 19 consecutive matches against players who in some shape or form get paid to play professional, like get paid for the matches. 19 match winning streak is pretty dang good. That's
I
a cap tip.
100%, 100%. I mean, we know how hard it is to win one match on like a 4-5 level or 4-5 or 5
Yeah.
level. Like
Yeah.
he's playing professional tennis and winning 19 of them in a row. Like that's yeah, kudos to you. And then Holger Rune and Bautista Agut. So what catches your eye in this section? This like little 16.
Um, I mean, I see both sides of this one. Like, is Musetti a decided favorite? Yeah. But is this quarter that bad? I don't think so. Like, Navoni is a legitimate opponent. Nakashima is a legitimate opponent. Kecmanovic on his day is a legitimate opponent. Like, Holger could be a tough matchup for Holger could be a tough matchup. I think this quarter is really pretty open. There's a lot of guys here who are like okay clay players, like not amazing, but not like, but like strong unseeded player level, like there's a lot of guys and I think they're all kind of in the same range right now in that Navoni, Kecmanovic, Baez range. Nakashima's not that far below them. Um, yeah, that's my take. I think there's a lot of guys in this section. It's a very even section. I mean, honestly, like, I mean, who's the worst guy in this section? Like, I mean, scroll up. I guess probably Ichikata. Like Ichikata and Royer are not great, but like, other than that, like, this is a very like, it's a lot of interesting matches. What are your thoughts
I
on
think
now Navoni Nakashima round one?
we'll get into that match. That's one of my favorite bets of the day. I think Navoni's a 4-game favorite. Is that what you wanted? What you predicted? I
to
love
take
Nakashima there at like plus 150, I think I got.
take a shot in Nakashima.
Like Navoni hasn't been great.
He's been a little better than Nakashima, but yeah, I don't like. I just don't like. I don't think in terms of the matchup style, this is a terrible matchup for Nakashima. You know?
Yeah, exactly. The only issue is that they're expecting like cloudy and rainy conditions tomorrow.
Yeah, that probably takes me off of that one. I
So that
mean,
probably that favors Navoni,
yeah, that probably does just enough to get me
and
to
it
get
takes a
me.
little bit off Nakashima's serve, so I'm a little bit worried.
That probably gets me not to bet it, like at that price.
Yeah, I'll see if the line moved because it felt like there was money coming in on Navoni. So if I can get like plus 165, that might.
I mean, even honestly, if Navoni moves out to like 5.5 games, or if that money line gets to plus 200 or like the plus 1.5 sets gets playable,
Yeah,
that could be a way of going about it too. Like,
right. Yeah,
or the over, you could look at the over. Like, I think
the
there'd be a
overs. Yeah. How is that not like over 3.5 sets? Like that's a great over 3.5 set parlay.
yep, I would agree.
So, for me, I totally disagree. I think this is a damn easy quarter. I think this is as easy as Musetti could ask for. Hoffman, no chance. Royer Galan, no. And I think he matches up really well against Opelka, Hijikata, Navoni, or Nakashima. Like
Well, it's Navoni or Nakashima. I mean, Opelka or Ijikata, like
fair, but like I
Opelka.
think if Opelka just scams his way to a third round by serving bombs, right? I think that's a possibility.
Yeah, it's a
Like I think
possibility.
that's a fantastic matchup for Musetti because he'll just stand way back, slice the return, and then just like dig in rallies and like Opelka's
Yeah,
no.
I think the interesting matchup would be if Musetti plays Navoni. That would be the interesting matchup.
Navoni has not nearly enough firepower to deal with Musetti's like courtcraft and guile at this point. Like no way.
Okay.
I if that spread is like 6.5, I'd probably lay the games, honestly. Like so. And then like looking at this like potential fourth round opponent, I think Holger is the only guy that has any chance against Musetti in this quarter. Like looking at like the Fritz section too. Like I don't think Tiafo Komasana is actually a sneaky look. Like I was thinking about him at 40 to 1 to win this quarter. Um Mickelson, Hamad, Fritz doesn't look 100% healthy. To me, it's Holger is the only threat here, and like I don't think there's any guarantee that he even makes it there. Like I think RBA is a tough first round match. Like if you're playing RBA, like you'd rather play him in round 2 or 3 when he could build some fatigue. But
Yeah,
like
I think RB is a fine. I don't think he's really that scary in first round. Not over a best of five.
okay, that's fair. I mean, he should get through that. Then like Nava or VDZ Vroon should really beat them, but like VDZ is he can cause an upset. He has that top level game. It's unlikely, but I think that's a possibility. And then the third round, I mean, like, is Mahak going to be able to get through one match this time, let alone two? And then, but if he gets there, I feel like he has the top end game to trouble Rune as well. And then I don't have any faith in Kecmanovic or Baez, but like Rune is, he's very like immature. He's kind of any given day, right? Like I feel like he can beat anyone, but he can also lose to anyone.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think if you want to bet anyone besides Musetti in this quarter, I think Holger is the way to go. But
I disagree with that based on the price. I don't think the price room to me at 350.
oh, forget
That
it.
price
Three,
to win
yeah,
the quarter.
no,
That's yeah.
no.
Yep.
I thought he was more like 5 to 1, but I guess
Yeah. Like I think Musetti is by a significant amount the favorite to win this quarter. I just think there's too many guys in this quarter, and Musetti has not separated themselves or himself like a Musetti's not separated himself like Sinner and Alcaraz have, right?
I
So
would agree with that, but like if you put Sinner or Alcaraz in this quarter, I think it's like almost like they should probably be minus 450, 500 to win the quarter then.
I don't think this quarter's that bad, I guess, is what my point. Like, I think there's like I agree, there's not like so I guess that's my take is like there's not a there's not like a top guy, right? Besides Holger, there's not a guy with like a top level game. But I think there's a lot of like okay guys here.
Okay, what about this bottom section here? Tiafo, Safiullin, Carina Busta, Komasana, Brooksby, Faria, Darderi, Korda, Mickelson, Wanma, Majerek, Medvedev,
Hey, another cap tip to Marshak, man. That guy's
Yeah,
really picked it up. His ranking's now in the top 70. This guy who's really been in Fuego the past several months.
Yep,
Yeah,
100%.
I have the same take here, man. Like, there's a lot of guys in this quarter too who aren't bad. Like I mean, Fritz, yeah, he's not a good clay quarter, but he's solid.
I don't
Oh,
think he's healthy though.
what?
I don't think he's 100% fit.
Okay. Um, Altmaier not the best, but very, very capable clay quarter.
Mhm.
Marchak, Medvedev, same bucket. Darderi, Korda, same. Like, there's a lot of like. There's just this quarter is filled with a ton of average guys. Like
Yeah,
Musetti's gonna have to play some decent players to win this quarter.
yeah. I mean, I also think Musetti has really improved his fitness, and like I think playing best of five is not really an issue for him anymore. I actually put him
I'm
in
not worried about the best
more in
of
my
five. I agree with you on that.
um. Yeah, I don't know. What about Komasana here?
That's my pick to win this quarter. At 40-1, that's where I put my money down.
Okay.
In a quarter where there's a lot of guys who are very, very similar, I wanted to take a longer shot.
Okay. I mean, this
Oh,
is the
that's
quarter
a
to
lot.
do it.
Musetti is by far the best player, by a long shot,
Right.
the best guy in this quarter, and he is certainly the favorite to win the quarter. I just don't like the plus 175 price.
I also think it helps that Holger would play Musetti in the 16s, in the round of 16, and then he would have to play Komasana in the quarterfinal,
Well, I
right?
don't know if Komasan is the favorite to get out of it. I mean, I like Komasan because of the price. He's not the
Yeah.
favorite to me to get out of that section.
But all these matches are winnable though, and like you don't have to worry about fitness with Komasana. He's
Well,
a
that's the point, right? Like he should win round one.
yep.
He should. I think he's a flip versus TFO in round two. To be honest, TFO was like 4-9 in his career at the French. He's not.
I agree.
He's
I agree.
been very poor at the French.
I actually make Komasana a little like a one game favorite.
To me, TFO is too talented to do that, but
Okay.
hey, Komasan is very live.
Conditions matter, right? If it's slower, it favors. Yeah,
He's very live against Quarter or Darderi.
agreed.
Um, yeah, I don't see like, yeah, I mean, yeah, like the implied percentage is like 2.5% for Komasana to win. Like, I don't think it's amazing. Like, I probably wouldn't back it at like 30-1, but I think at 40, like, that's my play.
Okay.
CFO's out there at 40-1. That's an insane price given his talent level, but he's just been so poor at the French in his career, and he's not great on red clay in general and European red clay. He's not great outside the US in general.
Yeah,
So I'm not backing it, but I do think it's pretty crazy to see him at that price.
it's justified, honestly. Like, what's
I'm not
Fritz's
saying it's not.
price?
I just said I'm not backing it.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty crazy.
What's Fritz's price?
40-1 to win the quarter. Like he's the same price as Komasana.
Wait, what's Fritz though?
Oh, Fritz is 550. That's not extremely.
That's not interesting.
I've got Fritz as the third or fourth favorite to win this quarter, but not at 550.
So how would you rank the guys? Like if you're ranking the guys who
Musetti, Rune, Fritz. Take your pick.
yeah, I would agree with
Like
that.
Komasana, I think you make an argument that given the draw, that Komasana is the fourth most likely guy to win this quarter. given the draw.
Mm-hmm.
Like theoretically Makac, but can he get through? Like theoretically Makac, but can he get through it? Like
Yeah, and
healthy.
also he would have to play Rune in the like. It's not a great draw for Mahak because he'd have to play Rune in the third round and Musetti in the fourth round. So
It's
like,
not. It's not.
you know what? I'm gonna back you on the Komasana. I'm glad I got some affirmation. It's not GBM, but like I'll put a full unit on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like yeah. I think he's very I think he's very live. He's very live. I mean, the only question honestly that I have to look into is it something where I'd rather go with a rollover because he's probably going to be the dog in a bunch of these matches. So if he wins the quarter, you might do better. Or do I want to just take the 40 right now?
I actually think it's gonna be pretty close because like if he plays Tiafo, I mean,
He's not going to be a big dog. I think he might be a slight dog. I agree with you. I don't think he'll be a big dog. I think the market knows. I mean, clearly the market knows TFO can't play on clay, as evidenced by the 40-1. That'll be close to pick.
and then if he plays, say, Fritz in the fourth round,
Well, he's a dog to Fritz.
yeah, he'll be a dog against Fritz. But like, I don't think it will be crazy.
I would think you get like maybe 2-1, but that assumes Fritz gets there. Fritz is no guarantee to get there, man. Like this is, I mean, Hamad is.
Well, I think
always, I
Altmaier
know it's
is a trouble match. Like I'm probably going to back Altmaier in some capacity.
I agree. Altmaier's a trouble match.
Kopriva's really been playing well.
The trouble match, like, or if he gets the like against like this is a tough draw for Fritz. I mean, it's not like impossible, but it's again, there's just like a ton of like. There's a ton of like landmines in this. Like that's how I would put it. There's a ton of landmines in this quarter that are like good enough to pull it off. Like Kecmanovic is a landmine.
No.
Just with his play style.
Kecmanovic has been awful. Kecmanovic has been awful recently.
I don't know. I mean, fine, but with his play style, like with his play style, if he's going for the lines and hitting the lines, like.
Yeah, but he's been missing lines. He lost 4-2 to Rinderknecht. Like in Geneva. He won the first set against Griekspoor and then lost 3 in Love in Rome. He lost
it's been a bad
4-2 in Estoril.
It's been a bad season. It's been a bad season.
He lost to Sonego in Madrid, who couldn't win a set against Burruchaga in his home country. Like, it's been bad. It's been really bad.
It's been a bad season on clay for Kecmanovic. I agree. But he had been better on hard. I just don't like, is it really not there? Is it really not there at all? I don't think he
level
is there somewhere. Like, why is he all of a sudden not able to play?
I don't think he can endure the physicality of the clay, like in this and the longer rallies. I mean, that's a big problem.
I don't think Kecmanovic's physicality is that bad. I know he's a little overweight, but I don't think he's that bad. Like I don't know. You and I have argued this for a long time. Is Kecmanovic a decent physical player? I think he is.
He doesn't like cramp or quit like Mahak, right?
I mean, that's my like. What does he do? But it's not even like. I wonder what his like third and fifth set records are. I don't think they're that bad. But I mean, there's a lot of guys here who like.
I disagree. I think a lot of these guys are like okay. I think the individual matchups are interesting, but like I don't think any of them are really that good. Like if you compare this quarter to the first quarter or even the second quarter, it's pretty weak.
There is no. The first quarter is stacked. The second quarter has 3 top end guys that are. Whereas this only has 1.
Yeah, but like Arnaldi and Kaboli and FAA and Griekspoor is a dangerous floater. You got
those are all Q. Are those are all Q. No, those guys are Q2 guys, right?
Q2 guys.
Yeah. But there's only like 3 or 4 of them, right? That's my point. Is like there's a bunch of guys in that like dangerous-ish floater category.
To me, Navoni and Nakashima are not dangerous. Mahak is probably going to quit.
I don't know if you call Arnaldi. If you're going to call Arnaldi and FAA, Navoni and Nakashima are not that far below Arnaldi and FAA.
All right. Okay.
Kecmanovic, that's fine. I get the form piece. Baez's form has been awful, so like I can see the argument. I think you've got a fair argument here, Manny. I would back Musetti if you gave me like 250.
Okay, like to me, he should be like minus or not minus, but he should be like plus 130, plus 140 to win the quarter. We're a little off. I mean, I'm a little higher on
I
Musetti too.
think I think it I don't think it's like it really depends on how you value like so you're higher on Musetti, and I think that's fair, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a fair debate to have. Um and then, like I said, there's a lot of guys here, like I get it. Like it really yeah, it really depends on like it depends on do you think a guy it really depends what do you think like a Navoni, and I'm bringing up Navoni as just like a generic guy, but a generic borderline top 50 guy, what chance that guy has against Musetti,
Mm-hmm.
right? It really depends on that. If you think that chance is closer to 15%, it makes a big difference versus if you think that it's closer to 20% or 10%, right? So it really is it
Yeah.
really depends on that.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the bottom quarter. So we got Casper Ruud and Ramos Vinolas who qualified. So kudos to
Good for
him.
him, man. I think
For
this is
him.
his last go around too, isn't it?
I don't know if he announced it officially, but I'm happy for him.
I
Kier,
think it might be. I can't remember.
he's one of your patented over 12 and a half guys from back in
For
the
a
day.
while. Yes, he is retiring. He said that this is his last season on tour. So this could be his last event. I don't know why
Nice.
he'd stick around to play more hard courts.
He'll play the post Wimbledon clay.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, the clay altitude is probably his best chance of winning an event, right? So I don't know.
You think he has a chance to win an event?
No, but I'm just saying to have like a couple good wins or a
I don't know.
couple.
If I was him, I'd go out here.
Yeah. All right, Kirian Jaquet will play Nuno Borges. Alejandro Tabilo will play Arthur Cazzo. Yoshi Nishioka will play Alexei Popyrin. Karen Kachanov will play Alexander Vukic. Sebastian Offner, who's had a slight resurgence, actually. He'll play Jan-Lennard Struff. Marton Fucsovic will play your favorite wildcard, Tristan Skulkate. And Elmer Muller will play Tommy Paul. So that's the first part of this quarter. I really like Ruud's draw, man. And we'll get into this a little bit later, but I, I really like Ruud to get to the quarters here. ARV doesn't pose any significant problem. I mean, matchup wise, you'd think oh, the lefty forehand can get to his backhand. I just don't think he has enough purchase on that. And Ruud is okay at defending the backhand. Um, especially when he's not pushed deep, right? So I don't think that possesses any problems. Borges, he's not a real clay quarter. Hits too flat. I don't think he. I actually think Borges way prefers the hard courts. Um, Popper too erratic. Tabilo in terrible form. I don't think Tabilo's played since Monte Carlo either, surprisingly. So I don't know what's up with that. Um, then you look at who he played in the round of 16. Kachanov or Paul. I think you're a little bit higher on me than Paul, on Tommy Paul. I think he would much rather play Ruud on a quicker surface, obviously, but I think Paul doesn't serve big enough against Ruud to really make that much progression. I think Ruud is just a better clay quarter overall. Paul might be a better tennis player, but Ruud is a way better clay quarter. And then Kachanov is just too one-dimensional. He's been solid. He played a really good match against Alcaraz in Rome. He's improving, but I don't think he has enough. So I really like Ruud to make the quarters here. And my favorite bet of the quarter is Ruud to play Alcaraz in the quarters at plus 200. How about you?
I think that makes a lot of sense. And again, I agree with everything you said about Ruud.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean, I think Ruud is better than 50-50 to make the quarters.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think Alcaraz is yeah. I mean, let me think about that. What was the price there? Yeah, I mean, I like that.
2-1.
What?
2-1.
That 2-1 is the price on that. I like that. Um, yeah, I like that. I just think Alcaraz is it's basically the root side because I mean, Alcaraz, nobody's a guarantee, but Alcaraz is really likely to make the quarters.
Are you on that? Is that GBM as well?
Sure, sure.
Okay.
That can be GBM.
All right.
Um,
Nice.
and then I really like Rude to win the quarter, man.
What's his price to win the quarter?
7-1.
What does he do against Alcaraz, though?
Um,
That's a horrible matchup.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe Alcaraz makes errors. I mean, I guess my question is how bad can it be, that matchup for him?
I'd rather just bet that individual matchup because you probably get like 5 or 6 to 1 at the minimum for him to win just that match. And if you're only getting 7 to 1 for him to win the quarter, then you're taking that added risk. Like I think he makes it, but I don't know. I'd rather just bet that match.
I mean, the question is really the question is more, what if Rude like I agree with you. I think that
Like another reason why I like Rude to make the quarters is because Rude never has any physical issues. Or rarely. Right? So you can trust him to last physically whether the match goes, 3 sets or 5 sets.
yeah. Yeah. I just think really what you're hoping for is I mean, if you look at Alcaraz's section, you're really hoping for Alcaraz to somehow not get through.
I mean, I think Marjan is actually the toughest matchup for him. Just because of his upside. Like
I just think yeah, I mean, I don't know,
Pericard can I don't like he can't serve bombs for 5 sets. This is the worst court. Like if they were playing at Wimbledon, sure. Like that's I give Pericard probably a 20% chance to win.
yeah,
Maybe,
I mean, it's
maybe a
not
little
any of
more,
those
but
guys.
it's
It's
not.
literally
This is the worst court.
I guess the question is does it's not even Pericard, man. It's like a yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right. You're
I know
probably
like
right.
Tsitsipas is like the great matchup for
They
Alcaraz.
played last year at the French and it was slightly more competitive. I think it was 2 breaks difference in 3 sets.
Slightly,
6-3,
yeah.
6-4, 7-6.
Something like that.
I mean, Tsitsipas is playing better on the slow clay. I don't know.
Tsitsipas is just in awe of Alcaraz. He doesn't know what to do.
yeah, I guess I'm not arguing that he's gonna beat him. I'm saying I don't know. Yeah, it's like does Tsitsipas have like a 10% chance of winning? And do those other guys what percent chance is there that Alcaraz just blows the match, just blows it, just plays a bad match? We saw him get, or that one of these guys plays like the match of their life against. Sonego, it was on a hard court, but Sonego took a set off him. I know Sonego's in better form then, but I don't know, man. Like
Like
is what
VDZ
chances he
at the
beats
US Open, like
90%,
that.
95%?
I think Marjan is the only chance up to the quarters.
Well, I mean, define chance, because everybody has a chance theoretically, right?
And it's 10%.
I mean, I guess that's the question: is do you give Tsitsipas 10%?
No, I give Marjan a better chance than Tsitsipas.
Okay,
I
I
also
disagree.
think
I disagree. I think Tsitsipas is miles better as a slow clay quarter, but
I think the chance that Marjan just finds like a flash in the pan and just like hits a gazillion drop shot winners and some crazy winners and stuff, like I think his ability to do that is better than Tsitsipas. Because Tsitsipas also Alcaraz knows a strategy that would work against him. Punish the backhand, you know, force Tsitsipas to play defense, come in, finish points at net. Like that's the way against Tsitsipas, and Alcaraz knows that. Whereas Marjan, if Marjan red lines, there's no real tactics for that besides like playing better.
Yeah, it's tough. Like the question is not, is Alcaraz a massive, massive favorite in all these matches?
Yeah.
The question is, is he a 95% favorite or a 92% favorite or a 90% favorite, right? And I have a really hard time. Honestly, I have a hard time. Like I don't know about you, but I have a hard time like visualizing splitting. It's not. It's actually like really important when doing these futures markets out. But I have a really hard time determining, is he like 90% or 93% to beat Tsitsipas? You know?
Yeah. I just don't see
Kind of
anyone
a
beating.
kind of blind spot for me. It's a spot. It's something I really struggle with because like, and it matters so much because like those are actually like when you're doing these futures, like not like 45 and 47 is not nearly as different as like whether a guy has an 8% chance or a 10% chance as an upset is, you know? And it's the same thing even with Rude. It's like with Rude, like when I was thinking about it in terms of like Rude having like a 12 to 15% chance. So being like 7-1 or so against Alcaraz, like, is that right? Is it 5-1? Is it 10-1? Like,
Yeah, I mean, if you're really playing the numbers game, sure. Like we're, playing the numbers rather than the guys. So I get where you're coming from. It's just like I don't think it really matters. Like I don't want to lose money, you know?
yeah,
At some point you play to win the bets. You don't only just play the numbers. Like I have Draper futures at 40-1 from Madrid. I got Musetti futures at 40-1 during Madrid. So like I have some bets with CLV, but like I'm not even talking about them because like I don't really think they're gonna win.
yeah,
You know what I mean? But like I have them in my pocket.
yeah,
But after the event, if they don't win, you don't have there's no value.
yeah,
So I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know. I
That's the
guess
problem.
yeah. I mean, in the long run, if you're playing the CLV game, like if you have CLV, you're probably doing well as a bettor, right? More often than not, but still got
But
to
I think there are exceptions. I mean, I hear your point, man. I think there are exceptions. Like, yeah.
yeah. All right, so oh wow, my Thunder bet aged well. They're down by 31 at halftime.
Yep. Yeah, I saw that. You want to live bet the hockey?
What's the score there?
I think it's 1-0. I think in a second intermission.
1-1 now. 1-1.
Oh, you could live bet the tie, Manny.
Nah, I like to bet that at the beginning. Florida was dominating the first two games. I didn't want to touch that, but I'll root for overtime. Like I want to after the pod, I want to see the overtime.
Yeah.
All right, so some first round matches to look at. I guess we can pull up the book. Anything catch your eye like tomorrow morning?
Um, I mean, I don't think. I mean, the voting Nakashima is an interesting match. We already talked about that one.
I like Zizou at plus 105 against Paracard.
That's a tough matchup to judge. I hear you. Maybe I'll probably stay away from it. I think it's pretty. I think it's pretty close.
Paracard has been better. He won the Bordeaux title.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Zizou hasn't been good either on the clay. He's been struggling.
yeah. Komasana minus 3.5 against Busta. That seems like a play.
I don't know, man. Maybe. Yeah, probably. Close.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell the viewers like I'm probably gonna the last couple weeks have been rough for me, so I'm gonna increase my staking, but make fewer plays and just play ones that I'm like really confident in. So that's kind of how I'm gonna approach the French Open. I'm not gonna go crazy. I'll probably when I do my posts, I'll like post some leans and stuff, but my plays are gonna be I'm gonna try to have like between 3 and 5 plays per day. So
I don't
that
like Marchak there. I got to think about that more, but Marchak at plus 135 looks
yeah, that
appetizing.
seems good. That seems good.
Hamad hasn't done much, right?
When has he ever done much? I'm low on Hamad though.
Yeah, I mean his best win this play season is Pericard, I guess. He
Yeah,
just lost to Otto Vertinen in the
that's
first
one.
round. So
That's when he
yeah,
was really
I think I really like that Marchak at plus 135. He's been really good.
Majorak, and he lost to Offner 4-4.
Marchak?
Yeah, in Rome.
Is that better or worse than losing to Virtanen 4-4? That's what
That's
Mahamad did in
better.
Rome.
That's better.
What?
That's better. The
You know what I
Offner
mean?
lost.
Like, yeah. And Marchak, he made semis of Marrakesh, won the Madrid Challenger, beat Busta and Cilic in that event, and Hugo Delian. Like, last couple weeks have been not so good, but I don't know. I like it personally, especially in a best of 5 where you could wear Marchak, where you could wear Hamad down.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, plus 145, 135.
yeah,
I'm on it. I'm on it. GBM?
pending, but probably.
Okay. I'm probably gonna stay off the Pericard Zizou now.
Yeah.
I didn't like what Zizou did against
Yeah, it's
Fuji.
more sad for Zizou that I can't that I'm not really a big fan of him as a like. I actually think this is pretty close. Like I think there's probably a little value on Zizou, but probably not much.
I'm gonna be in Komasana minus 3.5 against Busta.
Okay.
I also think the slower conditions, like tomorrow it's supposed to rain. I think that favors Komasana too. He just hits a bigger ball.
Yeah, I just way prefer like Komasana is another guy. I just way prefer to play as a dog.
Okay. Okay. What about
I
Moeller
feel
and
like he's like
Paul?
high ceiling, low floor. You know.
I don't really view him that way though. I view Komasana as just like an all-around decent player that's like getting a lot better. I don't know. Moeller and Paul, do you think the eight
No,
games
no,
is too
I
much?
mean, no, I mean, I don't know. I got to think about it. Like I have to really analyze those because that's now you're getting into like how many games and you know because obviously Paul's a huge favorite. It's tough to like evaluate off the cuff.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, Mickelson is a dog against Wanma.
I don't. I think I actually don't think I actually might play one there.
Whoa. All right, I'm definitely
I'm
gonna
not.
be.
I'm not a huge fan of Mickelson on clay, man. He likes the low ball too much, and one of his advantages is that he keeps the ball low. He's
Yeah,
not as good when the ball gets up.
but Wanma has no offense.
I Yeah, I mean, I would
Like
rather
just
there be
just
altitude.
hooking the ball to the Mickelson backhand is going to spell trouble. Like that's Mickelson's best shot, actually.
Um,
Ooh, and that line actually flipped because Mickelson was like a minus 120 favorite earlier, and now I
okay.
like it even more. That's definitely going to be a play for me. Popcorn. I know you're a big Wanma fan.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I probably won't be on it to be honest.
Copriva Montero overs seem really good.
Yeah,
What's the over 3.5 sets? It's probably like a plus. Oh, it's a minus 190. I feel like that's a really good price.
Yeah, Montero's lost his last 5.
True.
All the guys ranked outside the top 100. I don't know why. I haven't seen any of those matches. I mean, I probably need to watch some highlights, see what went wrong.
You might be right. And Kopriva's been pretty good, right? Recently.
Yeah, but mostly against weaker competition.
Yeah. Let's see. Kopriva. Drapery beat Baez in 3. Halis. Vasaveredis for Cena. Yeah, it's all weak competition. So yeah, I don't know. Marjan Nardi. I mean, 6 games is a lot. Nardi is, I mean, he's not great. Does Nardi prefer slower courts or faster courts?
Slower, I would say. But I don't know. I have a hard time evaluating Nardi. 6 feels like a lot in that matchup, though, given it's Marjan. But it's also Marjan's like so up or down. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's always hard to pinpoint Marjan, Like, and again, that's kind of built out. That money line is not big for a 6-game spread.
True. Yeah. The under is actually a decent look, but I don't know. I've gotten burned with some Marjan unders recently, so I'm gonna stay away there. Tiafo and Safulin. Ugh. I mean, it seems like another match that over 3.5 sets would be a decent play. You get minus
I don't
one.
know, man. Those are 2 guys who I really don't want to put a bet on.
I would agree. I would agree. Musetti and Hompman tomorrow. I was thinking about the under 31. But I know I'm higher on Musetti, and I don't like Hoffman is just so unathletic. I mean, you've commented on that before. Like, if there's some cat and mouse points, how's he going to deal with that? He's not going to be able to run for a Musetti drop shot. And then
I don't
Hoffman's
think
serve is also going to
it's
be neutralized. They're playing on Chatrier. It's a massive court. He's just going to stand back, slice it back, and get into rally. Like Hoffman I don't see what he does to make this competitive.
I mean, the line's saying that, right? It's an 8.5-game
Yeah, but
spread.
31, that's a 4, 4, and 4, and you cash.
That's the tricky thing with the unders, though. Like, if you lose one, you need a 3-0, right? You absolutely need a 3-0 to cash that. You
Yeah.
and if there's a 7 set, I guess 19-11 would still be a cash. So yeah,
It's going to be a play for me, playing the under 31.
I get it.
Nava and Van de Zandschulp. I mean, that's pretty close. I had that as a pick 'em.
Yeah, no, Nava's really tough to evaluate. He has like again a lot of wins, but against not great competition.
Right. I'd lean Nava there, but like he's not big enough of a dog to warrant
Yeah,
that.
no idea how to price Brooksby Faria. I might take a shot on Faria at plus money just because it's plus money.
Yeah, but Faria just lost to Zapata Morales and has played very little recently, so I don't.
Has Brooksby done anything since Houston?
That's a good point. I think he played Geneva, but he hasn't played otherwise. So
No, he played the Savannah and Tallahassee Challengers and lost in the first rounds of
wow,
both.
okay.
4-3 to Blankenau, 4-3 to Patrick Maloney, who I've heard of, but I don't think he's that good.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so many question marks with both guys. Like I don't really want to
Yeah,
dabble in that. I kind of like Mahak -4 against Halis, but like
I am not playing that. We have no idea. The
we
minus four
don't.
is not bad, actually. You know what? I might not be on the -4.
But I
But
feel like the retirement history is getting baked in.
Halis is
And
leading. Halis was leading the tour in first serve 1% this year. First serve points 1%.
really,
He was
huh,
ahead of Sinner.
wow, okay. But his return points one is probably way below Sinner.
But it just makes the game spread closer, right? If he gets a bunch of holes.
It's slowish clay. I don't know. I don't. But you get you get retirement insurance if you lay the 4.
Right. Yeah, it's not terrible actually. Or to lay like one, yeah, or to lay like 1.5 sets. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like if he gets to a fifth, do you really want a part of that match anyways? Like, no.
No.
So like, yeah, but now we're playing Makach. Like, is he healthy? Like, why did he retire against Nori? Is he healthy? I
I feel like if he just
struggling
doesn't feel
tried
like
to pull the ripcord. Like,
yeah.
he's hard, man. He's a tough. He's in the Hechka category. I just don't even want to deal with him.
I know. I know. Yep. Shelton Sonego.
No interest in that betting that match. Duckworth at plus 400 could be worth a shot against Bublik. Like, Bublik doesn't like the French, does he? But he has been taking the game a little more seriously the past few
He
months.
has. He's been a little better. So I don't know. All right, back to this Demon or Jiri match. What's the Jiri set 1 plus 190? You're on that?
You can probably get a 210 on Bet Online. I'm looking up Bet Online's price.
Kind of like the Demon 3-1 at plus 250.
I think that's a decent look too.
But I also like laying the 6 with Demon as well. Like I feel like
But I don't want the demon side of this. Like, I don't, yeah.
I just feel like if Demon wins a set, he could win a like a 6-1, 6, or 6 loves.
100%. 100%. I just don't think I want the games in general. But if you're gonna play demon, then I think the games make sense. Because I agree with you. I think like if somebody's gonna win a 6-1 set, it's gonna be demon. It's just like
Demon has been like I think Piranha posted, he's been the best at winning by margin and covering big spreads.
yep, I get it. Like if you want to play demon, I get it. I don't like this matchup for demon because I think Jerry's been really, really good on playing. Is nobody's talking about it, but he's been really, really good. But I hear your point. Like I don't, yeah.
I want to see the conditions first. I think that match is on Monday.
Yeah, I'm scrolling down, so I'm finding it.
Yeah.
Takes
You're trying to find that match? The set one.
Give me a second. It's like I said, it takes forever to scroll through and find them. There's so many matches, right? There's like hundreds of lines up. So like it's
Yeah.
like,
And I
then
heard
like
the French Open is the second most bet tennis tournament after the US
Wimbledon.
Open. No, after the US Open.
Oh, really? It beats Wimbledon?
Yeah. Yep. I was surprised that it was like Wimbledon is less bet, probably because there's less of a grass court sample size.
Oh, I doubt it's that.
No.
I mean, if you're talking about just pure amount of dollars or number of like bets placed, like I don't think your average bettor is like your average betting
I
stuff.
saw that on an ESPN article, so I don't know how accurate that is.
Yeah, I also don't know if it's ESPN. It'll also be interesting to know if it's ESPN's book or a book like a Pinnacle or a book where like people
True.
like serious bettors play, you know?
True.
Oh man, 64 matches. It's amazing how long it takes to go through and find them. Oh, I found it. Set one money line. I don't know, only plus 180, but BetOnline's got the bet. 2-1 is close, man. 2-1 is really close.
Yeah, if I'm gonna play that, I'm gonna probably lay the games with Demon. But I want to see the conditions. I'm gonna take some time to think.
What is Laszlo just to win a set?
Minus 185.
Yeah, so it's for me. It's set one money line or nothing. I'll probably still take the set one, but it's
Yeah.
I wanted something better.
Zverev Tien under 29. I feel like that's interesting. I'm not taking much stock into the Acapulco match.
Oh, I'd taken zero stock in that. Throw that
Yeah.
out. I mean, Zverev looked sick. Like, I watched that match. Zverev did not like. Zverev looked sick. There were several guys in that tournament that were sick. People can tell me he wasn't sick. I don't. He like. He looked. He looked atrocious, and half the people in the tournament were sick. So
Yeah.
I do not care. I mean, it almost doesn't even matter. He was so atrocious. It like doesn't even matter. And he's looked better the past couple weeks. He hasn't looked full Zverev, but he's looked better.
Did you see the match against Muller in Hamburg?
That wasn't great. There.
Yeah.
But it wasn't horrible. It wasn't like Golden Swing level bad. I guess that's my point, you know?
I'm probably gonna stay away. I feel like Tien is gonna like scrap a 7-5 or something. And Zverev, he always tries to make these matches complicated.
Yeah.
On paper, it's just a fantastic matchup for Zverev
Yep.
with
Yep.
like he loves playing lefties. That high backhand doesn't
Yep.
trouble him. Like Tien has no pace. Like
Yep.
Zverev
Wow,
has a
man.
really
Rude.
good serve.
I gotta think. I know Ramos qualified, but didn't Rude and Ramos play a couple of years ago and Rude absolutely smoked him?
Probably.
Like it was I think I took the 8.5 as an absolute beatdown. I could be wrong though. Yeah, 2024 Australian 1-3-1.
Wow. And that's on a hard court.
Which is not also not good for Ramos, right? But Ramos is better at altitude. Like, it's nice that he qualified, but man, I think he gets smoked.
I do too. Why? So you're leaning under 29.5 there?
I think.
Close. Yeah.
Or lay like 9.5. Although I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough.
There's like the question is which line do you want to play? But or like what is Root under 18.5 games won? That's 6-6-6. Ramos doesn't hold serve enough.
Oh wow, minus 130 for 19.
That seems pretty spicy.
That does seem spicy.
Like, is Ramos really going to make this super competitive?
Yeah, if he gets to 5 games and if he gets to if he forces Rude into a 7-5 or 7-6, then we get a push.
Right, and that's if he forces him into one. Is he really going to force him into two, or we'll win a set? Like, I don't see that.
Okay, let's make that GBM. That's good.
Yeah, I mean,
I like that. I'd rather find the 18.5 and get like plus one minus 105.
yeah, if you can find it, let me know what price you get. We could play that.
Okay. How about this Ugo Karabai and Munar match? Like, doesn't that spell 5 sets?
No. What's the 5-set price?
It's not up. It's minus 220 for 3.5, so it's probably plus
It
2.
does. It does spell four. It does smell like 4 sets. I mean,
Isn't this like a dog or pass kind of match? Like, don't you think the plus 125 is decent value for Ugo Karabai?
no. I mean, Lunar's the better player. It should play out over 5 sets. And I feel like it's a bad matchup for Ugo Carabelli because Munar's probably not going to make a ton of errors. And like it's not like if you were getting like Ugo Carabelli at plus 1.5 sets isn't even going to be plus money.
No, it's not.
Like plus 125, you need to win 45%. That's darn close to half the time. Munar's the better player. I don't think it's a good matchup. Like I'd actually be tempted to lay the 2.5 games with Munar. Like given how many breaks there's going to be in this match, is 2.5 games really a big deal? That's one break of serve. 1 to 2 breaks of serve, depending on who serves first, and tie breaks and blah blah blah.
I mean, besides beating those two American guys and rolling back to back, like Munar hasn't really done anything.
Yeah, but that's why it's where it's at, right? But like again, like I mean, I don't know, man. Like I just feel maybe I'm wrong, but Ugo Carvel is just so unimpressive.
These guys are just two battlers who don't have like weapons. Like I actually think they're very similar players.
I mean, even though okay, so let's go through Ugo Carbelli's wins, right? On clay on the European clay circuit. So
Mhm.
we've got Radu Albat, Gaston, Hamad, Busta, Virtanen, Nardi, Chunsin Sang, and a Baez that lost 6 matches in a row.
Yeah, true. Not great.
Which and it makes sense, right? Like there's a context and it makes sense because Ugo Carabelli, like he's good enough to beat bad players. He's like he's a pest.
He is.
Like he's a pest. He's I just don't like the player profile matchup for Ugo Carabelli here. I'm tempted to lay the 2.5 games.
Interesting. I'm probably gonna stay away. I
Or
mean,
maybe the 1.5 sets it plus money. I don't know. But I've got to think more about it for sure.
oh, I'm not laying sets here. Like I feel like this has 5 sets written all over it. If I can get like a plus 240 on a 5 set line, that's where I'd lean.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning overs here. Like I hear you. I mean, I'm staying away because I'm looking at you. You mentioned Ugo Carbai's like wins and like they're just not impressive. But I think both of these guys are pests, and who can be more of a pest is the question.
I think Munar is more than a pest.
Okay.
His serve has gotten a lot better too, Munar. Like Munar's got he's not who he was a year ago.
Yeah, I actually think he prefers quicker surfaces because he's underpowered.
He's gotten a lot better on hard courts. I agree with you. His game is he's kind of changed in that regards. I agree. I'm
Um,
disappointed to see Fritz is only a 5 game favorite against Altmaier. I was hoping to be more so I could pick Altmaier. I think probably at that price it's probably a stay away.
yeah, see the market is thinking the same as us.
Yeah.
I kind of like the Fritz over 20.5.
Yeah, I find that the over 20.5 is always tough because like you're basically hoping for the player to win in 4 or 5.
Right. Or how about the Altmaier set one at plus 185? That's also interesting.
No.
No?
I don't see what's special about the first set here.
Um, isn't Altmaier like a typically quick starter? Not really. Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, actually, he's not. He actually gets better as the match progresses. Altmaier. So.
Actually, Fritz sometimes can struggle on return the first set of tournaments.
Right. That's a narrative that we've brought up
So
before.
that was a narrative, mate. That's maybe a narrative to take that. I probably won't do it, but that would be a narrative to maybe take the set one.
Altmaier's very like he's very tough to read because like sometimes I feel like he can't make a ball in the court, and sometimes I feel like he's super underpowered, and then sometimes he like hits really strong balls and like bullies an opponent. Like I don't know what to
Yeah.
make of him. He's pretty high ceiling, low floor.
All right, moving on. Are we buying into Cam Norrie's run in Geneva?
Um,
He actually played well against Popper, and it's the first time he's played well all year, though, man. It just
am I buying it?
like
No. Am I buying it relative to Daniil Medvedev
well,
at a 6 game
also
spread?
Medvedev beat Norrie 4-2 in Rome.
Yeah, there's a
I'm probably gonna stay away. I don't feel like the player gap here is this big, but isn't Medvedev just like a better version of Norrie at this point?
I actually think Nori needs the altitude. I think that's a big component of it. Like he played well in Madrid or decently, and then he played well in Geneva, and both have
Yeah.
altitude, right? And then when he gets to sea level, he's just so underpowered. So it's a stay away at this price. I was hoping to play Nori, but nah, I can't.
Man, Chapo and Martinez. How about talk about two guys that have really crapped the bed the last 3 months?
They have.
I'm so tempted, man, to take Martinez at 2-1 there.
I tend to agree.
Like, yeah. We got some time to think about it, but I'm very tempted there.
Hmm. Quinn against Dimitrov, we kind of talked about it during our draw talk. I'm tempted to take Quinn in some capacity.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Maybe some overs.
I feel like the market's. I mean, that's not giving Dimitrov a ton of respect.
No,
I'm
it's
not
not.
saying he deserved it. I'm just saying it's not giving him a ton of respect. And put him at 5 as a what? He's a minus 300 against a qualifier. That's giving Quinn it's 25 to 30% chance to win that match.
Yeah. Yep. Misalik against Boo Yu.
Tempted to take Boo, man. I don't think Boo is that bad on slow clay.
Yeah, he's just very erratic. I don't know. Like,
But he's a dog, right? 155 dog.
yeah, I backed him as a dog multiple times and he shit the bed so many
Well,
times.
that's kind of what happens with dogs. But he did make the final of the Turin Challenger. Um,
Yeah, his player profile, like his game, basically from the eye test, like John is all over it because like from the eye test, he should be good on slow clay. Like he has the weapons, he has.
he's not a very good tactical player, Boo. I remember I watched him play Medvedev
Yeah.
at was it Indian Wells, and it was just hilarious. Like just Boo's like just his complete lack of like he lost 2-2 and like I mean it was he's at Indian Wells
Yeah.
running around every backhand to hit forehands at Indian Wells. And it's like, what are you doing? Like,
And he has a decent backhand. It's not like his
right,
backhand.
what are you doing trying to run around like at Indian Wells trying to run around and like drill forehands?
Yeah.
Like this is not the way.
No, it's not. Yeah. I think it's a stay away. I'm not as like I hear you. Like I think Boo should, from a talent perspective, he should win this match. But Misalik is he's solid.
Yeah, I'll probably be on Boo at plus 155. I hear you, Mislick is solid. I don't know, man. Like he, yeah, he's like, I'll probably take the plus 150. Like that's the thing, right? The plus 155. Like if Boo goes out and plays like a dummy and loses, I can deal with it a little bit more.
Right. I might join you. I'll think about it. Think about it. Dolo and Diallo, that seems about right to me.
Yeah.
What's Diallo to win a set though? Because Diallo is a good competitor. Plus 110, minus 110 to win a set. Dolo has those dips, and then he just looks puzzled.
Yeah.
He just like he looks at his team and like he doesn't know what's going wrong. Like he'll just miss like one random ball, like and he'll just like start getting flustered. Like I don't know, that might be a play, honestly, for him to drop a set. Like I find it hard to believe that like Dolo will like keep the level up for 3 straight sets
Okay.
without a dip against a guy that's a good competitor in Diallo. But Monfils and
No
Delian,
play there for me.
no.
We talk about Hugh being Fonseca.
Yeah, that's a play for sure.
Stan set one. And what is Stan set one? Like, has the market realized that Stan only can only play one set?
Plus 135.
Wow, it's actually better than set two. I'll probably be on. There's a good chance I'll be on Stan set one. He plays good for a set.
He does. He
He
does.
can hit the ball.
He can hit the ball. Man, I wish I could hit the ball that well.
Yeah.
Uh,
Sinner at -9.5 might be a play, but I need to think about it a lot more. It's hard to evaluate those spreads.
yeah. I actually might be on the stand set one and the Fernley -4 and split the unit.
I think that plays.
Yeah. The Young Pissarro, that seems about right. Lechka Thompson. We talked about that. That's a mess of a
I
match.
don't hate playing like the Lehechka 3-0 there. Actually, I do. You're not going to get a very good price on it. Khan's played a little bit better as of late. 7. Vukic is really bad on slow play, man.
Kachanov struggles to maintain the level.
What?
Kachanov, he struggles to win in straight sets, though.
He also struggles in first rounds. Yeah.
Yes. Stay away. Dardarian Korda. Korda might be a play there.
I don't know, man. Quarter has not been very good this play season. That's about where I had this priced.
Where did I have the line? Let me see. I priced all these matches before our pod. I can't find that one. Oh, I had it as a 3.5 game favorite for Korda.
So then you should probably play it. And just lay the 2.
Probably will. Where is it? Yeah, right here. I'll probably
already a little bit. I'm surprised to see Greek Sport as a 5-game favorite against Giron. I'll probably be on Giron at that. I don't like Giron, but 5 against Greek Sport. 5 seems like a lot of games on slow play for Greek Sport to cover.
I would agree with that. You're gonna take the 5?
I don't know if I'm gonna take the 5. Or maybe the 250. I don't know. Or maybe the set. Yeah, the problem sets isn't gonna be a good idea. It's either the 5 or the 250. Maybe the 5. I feel like the 5. Because like
I like the 5. I think the 5 is valuable here. Just
yeah, I mean, how many breaks is Greek Sport gonna generate, you know? But Euron's been really up and down, man.
He has. Greek Sport just lost to Bash Foreign Love in Bordeaux.
Yeah, so it's too. I still think I'm gonna be on Euron. I mean, I just don't really buy into Greek Sport on slow play.
I would agree. Yeah, but he beat Kopriva 1-4 in Madrid, but like there's altitude there, so you can't really weigh that.
Yeah, altitude play is more okay, right? Like it's really slow play where the serve doesn't help because he needs the serve.
He does. He does. Yeah, like he's better in Marrakech, and then Munich has a little altitude too, right?
No, Munich is altitude. That's an altitude tournament.
So he's considerably better at altitude. Like he played in Rome and then lost 2-2 to Greeks,
Yeah.
and then or no, he lost 2-2 to Feast. So yeah, I'm gonna be on the 5 too. I think that's GBM as well.
Yeah.
I like that. What else? Arnaldi FAA, we talked about that match. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's close for me.
Yeah. I'm gonna lay off the Kaboli Chilich. I think I just don't know if Kaboli will have a post tournament victory hangover. It's hard for me to tell.
Well, I'm not worried about that. I don't think you're getting a great price there with Kabuli against Chilich.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything you have like. I don't think it's like a must play. You know, I get it.
Because I could also see it go the other way. Like I could see just Kabuli lay an egg. Like
Yeah.
he has done that before.
I
Um,
want these minus the 6 against Yari. Maybe he might not actually. 6 is kind of
it's
a lot.
juiced. It's
It's
juiced.
juice. That's the problem. Ugh. But man, he should smack Yari. Yari Feast is really good. Yari has not been. Slow play is not going to help the serve.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Draper under 28.5 against Bellucci.
got to think about it more. It's a tough call.
Yeah.
Um, I like off. I think Offner minus 4.5 looks pretty tasty against Struff. Struff looks
I agree.
lost.
I agree.
Gasquet at plus 135. It's a narrative, but last tournament,
But he did. We talked about it last year. He played really well in the first round against. Who did he play? Was it
Torch, I think, and he
Porch?
torched pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like for these older players, like it's his last, like, you know, he beat Arnaldi in Monte Carlo. That's the last time he played. But I don't know that I'm not worried about it. I think he just didn't want to play challengers anymore, you know?
Yeah. Well, Atmane is a challenger level guy. And I don't really I prefer Atmane on a quicker surface.
Of course, yeah, you want him to end the points quickly. I think Gasquet's got one match in him, man.
I do too. I might actually play that.
I really like that. The more I think about that, the more I really like that. I think Gasquet's got one good match left in the racket. It's also like how much for him, like how much more fun is it to go out against Sinner than to go out against Outman, you know?
I agree. How
I
about
like Etch plus the 5.5 against Steph. That's another game where 5.5 really matters. Both those guys are gonna have a hard time, I think, generating a ton of breaks. Over 37 could be a look too.
Don't you think this is a good matchup for Tsitsipas though?
Not necessarily, because Etch has the power to rush the backhand. And Etch is better in the backhand to backhand rallies.
He's
He's got a lot of problems in this matchup, Etch, but he does have that going for him.
And Tsitsipas hasn't played since Rome, right? He didn't play Hamburg, right? He didn't play
Yeah, he took,
Geneva.
yeah. Yeah.
Have these guys played before? Yeah, once
I
last
think
year in
Tsitsipas
Monte.
got him.
Yeah, they played in Monte Carlo last year, and Tsitsipas got him one in love.
That almost feels like an outlier match, though, right? When it's that bad, like that can't be like the real indicative of performance.
I want to play it, but I don't know. What's the Tsitsipas 1.5 sets?
Gonna be massive juiced.
That's not so juice. 225. I mean, Etch did play a good event in Hamburg.
You know what? I'm not on this anymore. I was thinking about it, but you've convinced me it's not. Etch just doesn't he
He
doesn't play
doesn't do
good enough
anything.
defense. What?
He doesn't really do anything special to hurt Tsitsipas.
The
And then
forehand's pretty big. Like if he can get the forehand to the backhand, he's got big strokes. That's what he can hurt him. He's got enough power to hurt him. The problem is he's at a disadvantage in every there's nothing, he's got nothing else going for him.
yeah, if Tsitsipas has a hold on the point,
That's
he's
it.
gonna destroy
Yeah.
him
Yep.
because like he also can
The problem.
transition to the net, and then Etch can't defend very
That's
well.
the problem. Yep. That's the problem.
And then like I don't think Etch's serve is big enough necessarily on a slow clay court to really like hurt
That's
that.
the problem. Yep. I agree. The more I think about this, I'm not on it. I think
I'm actually leaning on laying the 5.5 with Tsitsipas.
I can say I mean yeah, okay. I'm not gonna
Probably want, but like ugh. And then Yoshi Popper, and that seems like an absolute mess to bet. I'm not gonna touch that. So
all right. Well, I think that's it.
yeah, that's it. What are our GBM plays for
GBMs.
tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll post the GBMs for tomorrow. We'll post them by the day.
So it's Majorak. Ooh, that's down to plus 130 now. Shit. So my plays tomorrow definitely going to be Komasana -3.5. Majorak probably still at +130. I'll be on that. I'm gonna be on what else? Musetti Hoffman under 31. And that might be it.
Yeah, I don't know. I gotta go through there. There's a lot of matches. Yeah, I gotta go through them.
Okay.
I'll,
But
I'll, I'll pull stuff
I'm lowering my plays. I might increase my staking, but Mickelson money line against Cerundolo. That's definitely a play at -105. So all right. All right, everyone. So we'll post our GBM plays. We'll post the pod. Second Grand Slam of the year is upon us. We're super excited. So yeah,
we'll get back on too, maybe a couple times a week this for the French because it is a big tournament.
Definitely.
All right, everyone. See ya.
See ya.